Howdy, folks. It is day 7 of the World Championship of Amateur Poker. Lee, we've been at it for a week. I don't know about you. I'm feeling good. I am ready to rock tonight. We're going to have a bit of a party night tonight, I think. But to a degree, that all depends on the poker, right? So what are the guys going to be playing tonight?
Well, it depends on two things, doesn't it? It depends on the poker, and it depends on who's out there in the chat, wants to get involved.
That's right.
We've got spaces. Our guest sofa is currently empty at the moment, and we're hoping a couple of the regular show team are going to pop in at some point. But you know what? If you're sat at home at the moment and say, do you know, I fancy coming on the show and having a chat to Des and Lee, drop Des a message. We can make this happen on the show tonight. It's a Saturday night. Last night was a bit crazy. We had 3 lots of medals that we dished out, all a little bit crazy. Well, Saturday night, just nice and serene. Just the one for you tonight. It's event number 10. That is the 6 Max Turbo Knockout. It's got a whopping $20,000 guarantee on this one, Des. But we've hit it.
Nice.
We've got there. 403 runners in that. So we are through that. Not a problem whatsoever. And it's flown though. It's absolutely flown. We're down to 76 runners in this already. It'll play out around a similar sort of pace that the one we did last night that we watched, which I think finished sometime just after midnight from my recollection of last night's stream. Although, as you say, it's day 7. Do you know what? They're all kind of flowing into one another. After this, we've only got 2 more online events before we're all taking a quick breather before we make our way to Nottingham for next week. Cannot wait for that. Was in a chat with Rob Young earlier on. He's asked, how's it going? What's it looking like? Are we picking up media exposure? But I said, I just simply replied back, Rob, the players are buzzing for this.
Yeah,
cannot wait for everyone to get back together. And more importantly, it's at dusk till dawn. Everybody loves it at dusk till dawn, and it'll be certainly be pretty busy over the 5 days there. So that will be great. It's a little bit quiet, Des, on the names that I recognise of the last 76. I've managed to pick one. I've got a table because I found one. Stephen Bailiff is still going in this comp. He's got about 18 bigs at the moment. Blinds are 8,000, 16,000. So I picked up his table, which I'm keeping an eye on at the moment. But if you are still in the comp and I might have missed you, give us a shout out and let us know if you are in there.
I'll tell you, maybe he's trying to split us a bit, Lee, but I just had a message from Rob, something else that he wants to talk about. So that's pretty cool. Now, if he responds, but I've just dropped him a quick response. This is about 5 or 6 minutes ago. If he responds to the latest message I sent him, I'm going to ask him, does he want to come on the show? Right? I'm going to ask him, does he want to dial in? Does he want to come on for a bit of a chat? And knowing Rob, he's a bit chassis tonight. He might very well do it. That could be good. That could be fun. Before we get to the poker, there's a couple of things I want to cover off. First of all, the chat box. So Simon Lawler is the first into the chat box, as he is on many evenings. And he's coming in with a big phew. Was pressing refresh a bit, lol. So, he's a little addicted to us, Lee. It's a little worrying, but there he is. That's the entertainment we're providing for at least one of our members. Tony Ross is there as well. All evening to you, Tony. So I can see that there's a bunch of you out there from the numbers. So if you want to get a shout out on the show, just give us, put something in the chat box. Triplin is there.
And of course, the other thing we're doing tonight, Des, is we do have one eye across the pond.
Well,
over in Vegas, and I haven't even looked. So I've been busy for the last hour or so. So I've not even looked to see what the situation is. I did get a message a little while ago. I think it was about the break because I'm in contact with because Stuart Oliver's over there, Brendan's over there at the moment as well. So the guys that are playing, I think Stuart might be playing, having another bullet at the Colossus today. I think if I recall. He was saying that right. Brendan actually got quite close to the money in the seniors himself. Just missed out on that. Stuart was telling me. So we'll be keeping an eye on what's going on over that way as well.
I'll tell you what, Lee, we do have a rather sad update though. We prefaced the show with hopefully there would be a bit of a shug watch tonight. And the rather sad news coming out of Vegas is that in the last hour, Shug has actually exited the Seniors Championship. I think he did absolutely magnificently good, made the final 100. So, out of a huge field, that was an incredible achievement. I think he has, cashed for just shy of $5,000. Magnificent.
Amazing.
Yeah, an
That is
absolutely
superb.
stunning run. I'm sure he was having the absolute time of his life over there. I think he's been hit a little bit, by tax, as I understand it. He should have an ITIN number,
Really? Oh, wow.
which in theory, would remove that burden. But I think they're trying to take 30% of his winnings from him for tax. Now, I guess, I'm not entirely sure, but I guess he may still be able to reclaim that, in 12 months' time, as I understand it.
Yeah,
But
but to be honest, normally if you're at the World Series, even if you haven't got the number or it's not going through, they're more than happy to file fresh paperwork for you and get it sorted for you. So I'm sure it will get sorted. I think there's only one or two places in Vegas where they're not helpful at that kind of thing. But even if they're not, very, very worst case scenario, I can recommend a very good accountant up in London that can file you a US tax return if you need to. It is doable. Bit of a nuisance, but it can be done for a small
bit of a
fee.
nuisance,
So,
but shouldn't take a shine off of Shug's magnificent performance. And of course, with that cash, Lee, whether it's 70% of the end result or eventually 100%, hopefully he's covered his trip. Hopefully it will, enable him to play another couple of games while he's out there. If nothing else, have some really nice dinners, have a really nice time, and come back, having had a cracking sort of week in Vegas.
yeah, absolutely. Which is what it's all about. I mean, you book your Vegas trip not with any expectations, or certainly most players do that. And if you can manage to get a nice cash that covers the trip or a little bit more, then that is the best way for it to work. To be honest, Simon's in the chat saying, "Golden Nugget are the least helpful." Yes, tell me about it. My first ever cash where I needed one was at the Golden Nugget, and they were not very helpful at all. Unfortunately, I did a number of trips around other casinos trying to find somebody else that might help me out on the day, and nobody did. So I ended up having to go through exactly the process I've just talked about. Basically, you just have to go and file it. And fair, it wasn't that difficult a process, and you get the money back eventually. So it's not the end of the world, but hopefully, yeah, he's cashed in the right place. So I would hope he will get it sorted.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he probably will.
Yeah.
Simon goes on to say Caesars normally help. Eddie Niascu's joined us as well. Evening to you, Eddie. Hope all is good. So Lee, why don't I pull up a table? We have
the table that we did have. Unfortunately, Scousers just bust.
Oh, you're joking me.
Unfortunately, no. He had suited connectors and came up against aces, and actually hit the flop. So had two chances to make his flush, but it didn't happen. So unfortunately, he is busted at the tournament, and we're down to 72. We're paying top 69, so we're getting really close to the money now. We're just 3 off that. So we'll what I will do is I will go and bring up the
Oh, hold on, Lee. Hold on. Although you've lost a pro Liverpool supporter, on that table we did have a former pro Liverpool player.
Sammy Lee.
Yeah. You saw it. Good man. I wondered whether you'd get him straight away, but you did.
Yeah,
Samuel Lee.
Yeah.
Sammy
And
Lee.
there is also okay, if we're playing that game of Liverpool football connections. Let me try and find if the player is still in. Yeah, the player is still in. So let me bring this one up as well. Okay, here we go then. I'll leave it with you because there's somebody else on that table as well that you know.
Let's have a look.
But we're looking for the Liverpool
really?
football. We're looking for the Liverpool footballing connection first of all. But then you've also got somebody else.
Do I see Steve Forte there?
You do see Steve Forte there. You do with just
cool.
a 9 bigs, but you're still missing a Liverpool football connection.
Well, I can only see Luis Eduardo That could be Suarez. I have my doubts.
You're thinking the wrong side of the city. You see, that's the trouble. I didn't say
Colin Harvey would be
Colin Harvey,
I guess. But you're going back a while there, Lee, right?
Everton, yeah, ex-Everton coach or manage. Did he manage at some point? He might have done.
I can't remember, but I wouldn't necessarily have the knowledge to nail that.
Yeah, exactly. Triss is in the chat and says, "Is it a case of when you get your item number, you're okay, Lee?" Yeah, yes, you are. Although I'm not sure whether there is an expiry on those or not. But once you've got that kind of that your number and everything, then normally it is, as long as you show that to when you cash. Obviously, it's only over a certain amount that becomes an issue. But I didn't have one for my first trip. Cashed at the Golden Nugget, couldn't do anything, so I had 30% deducted. But then when through the process of actually having to do a tax return, I then got my number. And when I then took my number out 2 years later, and I think I had a cash at the win, which was enough to go over. It's just a case of showing it and they give you the full amount, no problem whatsoever. It's just that they've got it all noted down on their paperwork, because all the casinos have to file their own paperwork for who's basically won amounts over a certain amount out of their casino. So they need all their paperwork intact. So if they've not deducted 30%, they need to be able to explain why they haven't. So that's ultimately the reason why it is. But I'm not sure genuinely whether it's there is an expiry on them, and I've got to track mine down to find out where it is. I've got a couple of weeks to try and find mine. There's high hopes, but I probably won't need it. But I'll pack it anyway. So it's done.
That's cool.
We will see.
It's a good problem to have, right? It's a good problem to have, because lots of players go over, spend a few quid in Vegas, don't necessarily win anything. So it is a good problem to have, but that 30% is as good to you as it is to the US taxman. And what the
and actually the cost of, I mean, if you have a really decent win and you haven't got one and it's a problem, the cost of actually getting a US tax return done is a couple of £100 maybe. It's not really, in the grand scheme of things, a massive thing. If you've had a decent win and they're withholding 30% of it, you just get it done if you're unfortunate enough to do. But I think it is only about the Golden Nugget that it is a problem with now, to be honest. I don't think there's many others that haven't, which is why I'm pretty sure Shug will get it sorted, because it'll get resolved at somehow, because he's in the right place for that to happen. So.
Okay.
I would have thought. So yes, D40 is in the chat. Long time no speak, Steve. He did message me a little bit earlier on, Des, to say asking me a little bit what I thought about United's chances this season. I said, well, it can't be any worse than last year. But I did kind of have a feeling. I thought, Steve's messaging me. I wonder whether he's running deep in the comp tonight. I just had this sneaky feeling that might be the case. And then lo and behold, there he is with a nice little double up now. So he's up to 17 bigs, and we are now one off the money in this 7 Max Turbo knockout. Up top, out of the prize pool, there first and second prizes are $1,300. So that plus your bounties for the night. I would imagine the winner's going to walk away with probably about $2,500 tonight. So that'll be quite nice for whoever that is. And chip leader at the moment is Petri Wani Kukas from Finland, who's got about 93 bigs. So plenty, but obviously we know how this played yesterday, where the kind of stack sizes were kind of hanging around the sort of 20 bigs for average for quite a lot of it, and it is only a little bit more than that. It's about 23, 24 bigs is the average stack at the moment, and that's where I'd expect it to be, because it's super quick, all over in one night. So that's the way it is going to play out.
Steve, where have you been? Haven't seen you in ages. Good to see you back. Good luck in this one. I'd love to see Steve go deep. He might be a Man United fan, but I can't hold that against him. But we had a lot of good value out of Steve, I think, over the last 2 years. Of course, things have changed a lot, so everybody's much more back to normal. But love this tournament. The Turbo last night, I thought, was an absolute cracker. We had a great heads up, a great final table. Despite the Turbo nature, it didn't seem to play out like a Turbo, Lee, other than it sort of, we completed it reasonably quickly, but there didn't seem to be a huge amount of pinch points through the game.
No, not really. No, it's and as they all have this week, the structures have been absolutely superb. So well done to everybody at Party Poker for getting the structures spot on for the players, and pretty much giving players the maximum value you can for sensible finish times, because I don't think we've had anything go past about 1 a.m. UK time so far, with that being 8 o'clock start. So it's been absolutely spot on, I think, for recreational players. Hopefully thoroughly enjoyed the series. You're going to have 2 more chances to if you want to get involved in the online side of things. So tomorrow night, event number 12 is the PLO knockout. That's a $55 buy-in. That starts at 8:05. But the big one tomorrow night is the online championship 8 Max No Limit Hold'em. Starts at 8:05. It's a $109 buy-in. It has a $75,000 guarantee on it. Now you get 1 re-entry opportunity with that one. So if you do bust out early in that and want to give it another shot, then you're able to do that. But it's still a 2-day event, so we'll be watching the kind of the early stages of that event tomorrow. I think we'll probably come online about the same time tomorrow, about 10 o'clock again. We've got JP and Stu on tomorrow night, and we'll watch that play down to the end of the day one, and then on Monday we'll be back. I think we may well, depending on how we work, either 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock start, depending on what we can fit in there, because it will be the day 2 of the online championship. We've got lined up at the moment Adam Neal, Dan Austin, and Paul Haycock in on comms. So an absolute packed guest lineup on Monday, depending on whether any of the 3 of them actually make the day 2. So there is a possibility if they're doing that, they're going to want to focus on that because it's going to be a cracking prize up top. So they're going to want to keep it. And of course, tomorrow night is the only chance to win a WCOAP bracelet in the online series. So there is the online, there is the bracelets every event at Dusk Till Dawn. But this is the only one where you can win one online. And there is the fantastic looking main event bracelet for Dusk Till Dawn next week. And of course, the other thing tomorrow night is our online day 1 for that very event. It's £150 buy-in is the main event at Dusk Till Dawn, and we're giving you a chance to have a go at that online if you want to. If that works for you, it's more convenient for you. Maybe you can't make the Friday, Saturday next week, but would love to have got in and just come up for the day 2, because obviously if you make the day 2, each of the day 1s play down to 15% of the field. So if you make day 2, then you're in the money automatically. So you'll know exactly what you're doing. So you'll always, you've pocketed a little bit of cash to cover your costs to get to Dusk Till Dawn. And some players just are wanting to play it because they want to play the other side events of Dusk Till Dawn next week. So they'd rather have a shot at that. Some are playing it because they just see it as another opportunity to try and make the day 2. So it's a mixture of reasons why, but I think it's a good addition. It still keeps it as close to a freeze out as we possibly can, but gives players a little bit more flexibility if they need it to try and get through to that day 2 and try and get that their hands on that bracelet, which is it's a stunning piece designed every year. So it's a bespoke design every year. That particular one is solid silver with a 18 karat gold vermeil on it, and the stones so it's got Austrian crystal set into it. So it's a really lovely looking bracelet, not too blingy. If Des had done the design on that, there'd be rubies, and all sorts of stuff going on there.
You'd have all sorts of shit on it. Yeah. Believe me. I just have one question, Lee. If we don't quite hit the numbers, is there any danger that it might be withdrawn, the bracelet?
No, there's not a possibility that's going to happen.
The bracelet in play, no matter what happens.
The bracelet,
we get 7 runners in the whole thing, Lee.
So you've got a 1 in 7 chance of winning that bracelet. So that's not a problem because hey, it's got 2022 on it, so there's nothing else we can do with it. So it's going to get given out next week, and I'm looking forward to that. It's always a nice touch seeing the winners' photos at the WCOAP. So looking forward to that. So Steve 40 says in the chat he was in Dublin the last 2 weeks doing a bit of work and spent a lot of time at Temple Bar. John Murray says I saw a discussion where someone was saying they should be able to deduct re-entry fees. Say if they had won 6K and entered a 1K twice. I think you only get 1 deduction. Okay, that's interesting. Vegas comment. Not sure. Not sure how that works. Thing?
Is that
no? It's because what they do is when they deduct the 30%,
is it off of your profit?
They deduct your buy-in first. Oh, okay. So if you've had 2 re-entries, I suppose technically,
absolutely, yeah,
you've had 2 buy-ins. You should, but I don't know whether it's I guess if it's a rebuy, then it's classed as part of the same buy-in. But if it's a re-entry, I mean, technically you're Joe Bloggs 2 walking up and buying in, aren't you? Because you're just another person buying in. So therefore, you're from a US accounting point of view, your effectively your entries that you would offset against your poker winnings when you do your tax returns in the States. You would deal that with yourself. The casinos wouldn't deal with that. They're only going to deal with it, with it as one-off.
I think I can see a slight flaw in the plan there, Lee. I mean, what if you Scott Seaver with your 47 buy-ins? I mean, rather than them deducting 3K from your prize money at the end,
exactly.
They've got to actually give you 67,000. I like it.
Brutal for Steve. 40 there. Pocket Kings up against the Jack 7. Jack 7 had made 2 pairs, so Steve is down to absolute fumes. Got 2 bigs now. He's in the money, so let's remember that. But let's see what he can do with his 2 bigs, whether he can turn it around. Yeah, but obviously they don't. I mean, they don't have to go. Well, actually, we know you've had however many buy-ins, so we're prepared to balance that off and do that. It's not the casino's responsibility. So they'll just look at it as you've won X thousands. The cost of the comp was this. Therefore, we'll deduct that and take 30% of the of effectively the profit you've made on the comp. So that's how they'll look at it.
You got to do what you got to do, Lee.
And the important thing with any of this, with cashing in, certainly in America, it seems less of a problem in this country. Is make sure you keep your paperwork. They fill their forms out in triplicate and say it's one for the casino, one that goes to the RS, one for the player. Whatever you do, don't lose that kind of stuff, because if you lose that, you've got no way of being able to prove you need to provide all of that when you get have to do a tax return if you need to do it.
I agree. We've got a slightly smaller table on screen there, guys. Just give me a shout in the chat box if that's too small, and we'll go back to something slightly larger. Oh, Lee, it's all technology.
Have you done it to come in line with Steve 40's new chip stack? It's just a little bit smaller.
I've reduced the size just to make
is that a bit too soon?
A little bit bigger.
A bit too soon. I'm thinking he's going to be all in here. I've got this funny feeling.
I don't think he's going to be alone either.
There's been a raise to 2.1. There's been 3 callers so far, and Steve's got 1.1 behind with 1 already in. I think he's folded.
Oh, wow. He's a good lad. He's a good lad. That's discipline. Steve, it's mad, but it's discipline.
That is ridiculously discipline. Is there a pay jump coming up?
He's not going to beat 4 hands, is he?
Steve, there's another 9 players till the next pay jump.
He knows what he's doing. He just wants to go heads up with somebody to stay alive.
I'm assuming there might have been a misclick there, or
no, seriously, I think he's done the right thing.
To be honest, he might have walked away, because he said that the Kings was a little bit sick, so he might have already said, "I'm done with this." So, we will have to see what happens with that one. So John Murray says, it may have been about rebuys. I mean, obviously, because technically, although to most players, they would just assume that, rebuys, re-entries is one and the same thing. Obviously, there is quite a significant difference to how they would be treated legally and from a technical point of view with the venue.
Here we go. Steve is in with a bowl. He's a kid with a bowl and a dream.
Well, he's going to get, or he might not get 2. He does get 2 players. He's got 1 live card, but the King's been hit, and now an ace has been hit. So that is going to be the end of Steve, unfortunately.
Steve.
And in fact, Mattis there busts both the players, so adds a nice bounty to his head, but also to his bank balance as well. So that's nice. Yeah. So obviously, when you rebuy in a comp, you can go obviously down to 0 chips before you choose to rebuy. Or you can be below a starting stack and choose to rebuy. So I think that then counts as just being in addition to your entry fee that you've paid. So the total cost of what you've paid. However, a re-entry means effectively you stand up and walk away from the table and get reseated in a brand new seat with a brand new starting stack. So technically, you're just a new player that's come in. So that's why there's there's the difference there.
I get it.
Mattis back in again. Ace 4 against King Queen this time, and the King Queen is good this time for Kishakuma. So and we're down to 51 now in that one. So it's just the slight technicality of it. And unlucky there. Oh, Steve said he had 8-2 offsuit when he
I saw that. Yeah.
When he had the 1.1 remaining. Yeah, really difficult to know what to do with that. But that's very, very unfortunate. Not a huge amount you can do, I think, with it. You just got to go with the flow on that one. That's the way to look. So also tomorrow night, we're hoping we're going to maybe get a call in from one Natalie Bromley, and that's okay. They're currently, what are we, 10:30 So they're still, I think they're probably still crossing the Atlantic about now, I would imagine. Actually, they might actually be on sort of on US in US airspace by now. Actually, I would have thought.
Exciting
Making
times.
their way over to the States.
And to be honest,
But,
having seen somebody like Shug getting that great result, when you're sort of jumping on the plane or whatever, it's just exciting, right? It just adds a bit of color to the whole thing because obviously anybody can get a good result, and I don't mean that in a negative way towards Shug, not at all. But it is possible, it could be your one time, right? Shug's
no,
well
absolutely. You just never know. And I think in a lot of the World Series events, you don't need to go crazy. If you play steady, good, consistent poker, and the most important thing I think is just trying not to make any mistakes. That's what really matters. Is if you can actually just say eliminate mistakes from your game, and just go steady along. It's surprising how many times you can make the money and then see where you push on. I saw Dara Kearney. I think he cashed in his first 2 events out there. And what I would say about Dara, if you were describing Dara as a player, yes, he's got gears and he can change, what he does. He's very good at understanding a table dynamic. But I would always describe Dara as a solid player. Yeah, he doesn't make mistakes in his game. He writes strategy books for a living. He knows all of the pitfalls of poker and therefore eliminates that from his game. And therefore you can have reasonable success. As we lost a table, let me bring up a different one. There we go. So those, which means you might be able to jump back. You might be able to jump back in on the stream without it going off. See what happens.
So howdy guys, apologies for that. We seem to have had a proper tech failure. The whole system went down, but we're back on now. Let's get that table back up. There we go.
It's because you put up a Facebook message from Steve Forty about Liverpool.
It's just the whole place absolutely collapsed.
I think was it because it was from Steve Forty. It had Liverpool and relegated, all in the same sentence. Yeah. It was
like the code.
Your system did an automatic shutdown when you saw that. So
it did. Well, I guess we've been doing this since I want to say March or April of 2020. So that's been a while. I haven't seen that before. Literally, the whole system just
Simon Lawler says frozen ? Let it go, Simon. Would you just let it go? Honestly,
let it go. Let it go. There we go. We're all singing the same song.
Nice. I mean, we can manage to trip up with the technicals and actually manage to get back in on stride without too much of bother. We're down to 39 players, Des, in this. Absolutely flying.
It's hammering through, Lee.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Do you have the ability to show a leaderboard? Even possibly, if you uglily put it over the top of that, I don't know if that's feasible.
Yeah, it'll replace what I've got under on the leaderboard at the bottom.
Just literally for a wee. Oh, sorry. Right. No, if it's going to cause you a technical issue, don't do that. Where do you think is the best table to go to, or why are we on?
Well, I'm on the we're on with the chip leader at the moment.
So we have the chip leader. Okay.
Who's Petri with 68 bigs at the moment.
Wow.
So we're sat with the chip leader. I'm just looking to see if there is anybody else that we even.
So Petri is Finnish, is that right, Lee?
Yeah, he is. Yes, yeah.
So we had Juha last night, right? So the Finns are making a run. It'd be great to send a medal to Scandinavia.
Yeah, wouldn't it just? I'm just looking to see if there is anybody else in there that I recognise. Thomas Dolby is still in. Name rings a bell, but I can't think why.
Sounds good.
But genuinely, I mean, and bear in mind, I've been typing APAT players' names into leaderboard ladders or poker squads for 2.5 years now, and I'm really struggling to recognise any of the remaining 30-odd players that are on the in this tournament.
Did you get that message I sent you
on
the WhatsApp?
I will do in a second.
For Steve. There you go. Old LFC on tonight, Lee. It's never a dull moment, eh? Never a dull moment, mate. Never a dull moment.
Dear, oh dear. Yeah.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah.
I love when I see you so slightly flummoxed. It's brilliant.
Oh no, it's not flummoxed. It's just like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, we've been there, done that. Bought the
Absolutely.
T-shirts and everything else. So yeah,
absolutely. So Lee,
cool.
The counties, right? You mentioned the counties briefly. You said that might be coming back. You mentioned it a couple of nights ago. So I've got my team ready.
Have you? Excellent. Who have you got?
We're ready to
That's
go.
A winner.
We're
That's
ready to go. What do you reckon?
That's the winner. I think so. Well, I mean,
I'll get the boys in.
Yeah, I mean, my plans are Tom and I, we've been talking about it a lot, and we've been obviously we keep calling it the counties, but I think ultimately it won't be the counties. It'll be the counties in format and structure, I think. But I want to really open it up, and I think a lot of you guys at home will know, my passion for team games, and it's all about coming to the poker with your mates and playing, whether it be live or or online, but certainly live very much. It's like you 2 or 3 of your mates and you're in the car and you travel to dusk till dawn and you play whatever it might be. And I very much want to say open that up. So for anyone that's played the counties before, it's basically a 2-day event, but we very much structure it around sit and goes, and you play on a sit and go and win points for your team, and that qualifies you through to the latter stages of the structure, whether it be an MTT or a final, sit and goes on the day 2. We pay out via that. So we're looking to do that now. Previously, we've had players that can represent, let's say, their county or the county of birth or where they live now, and they've got people together. But we have been fairly flexible. I think we'll probably, just make it super flexible and say, right, well, do you want to put a team in and play this and represent, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, with the structure, the way we work it, because you're all playing sit and goes, you're not with a teammate on the table, so it does away with any of the kind of collusion or necessarily soft play side of things, other than you may be tightening up, wanted to win points. So that's kind of how the structure will work. We're planning on doing it later on in the year. It'll probably be November time. Hopefully we'll be able to get that plus a few other events out to you guys to let you know all about in the next few weeks. But obviously main focus for us now is going to be Nottingham as of Wednesday. So are you batting messages? Oh no, okay, yeah. Steve hasn't forgotten. That's for sure. So
John Murray, good luck with the Mayo team. Amen, brother. Those are all Mayo men. Apart from Andy Black, who's obviously from Dublin.
But it's just it's trying to play, something just a little bit different than your bog standard comp. And the tricky thing for us is just making sure we've got the right venues on board that understand it and are staffed to deal with it, because they're used to dealing MTT tournaments, so they know what happens, and tables break, and then dealers can go and deal cash and do other things. I mean, everyone who's been to the card rooms around the UK or around the world kind of know how the dynamic works in a card room. You have your big MTTs, but they start playing down, and say either then another one opens, or more cash tables open as the night goes on. So we've just got to make sure that we've got that well structured with the venue, so it meets everybody's expectations. That's the world we live in. There's been some really good chats in the Facebook group the past few days regarding kind of APAT and our core kind of dynamic, what we're about, and how venues are structured these days and what goes on. And it's really pleasing to see actually so many players that have some awareness of this, of the way poker is these days, and it's got to work for everybody. That's the most important thing. We've always, number one, been about the players and making sure we get as much as we can for the players. But there's no point in us doing that to the point where then no venue wants to deal with us, because they say, well, we can't make that work. So everything's about discussion and compromise. We'll always do the best as we can for the players. And sometimes players just need to be aware that, trust us, we've been doing this a long time, and we do as best as we possibly can.
I think very well said, and you know, truer words have never come from you. But I still get the Ferrari right at the end
Yeah, of
of it
course
all.
you
I
get the
still get the
Ferrari. Yeah,
Ferrari.
yeah, yeah.
I still
Yeah,
get the
it's not a
Ferrari.
problem.
Thank God. Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. You still get that.
You
Not
can't.
an issue.
You, Lee, you can't remove that like you did the guarantees the other night, right? You can't. You
No,
can't
no,
do
no.
that. No.
I can't
Okay.
do that, Des. No,
Can
I
Party do
definitely
that? Can they? Can they just maybe?
your Ferrari? Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
could.
Oh,
To be
God
honest,
damn it.
yeah, they probably could. Make sure you get the carpets at the back first because you paid for those. Remember? Yeah. So make sure you do that at the very least, indeed. But yeah, really looking forward to heading up to Nottingham on Wednesday. Early start for me Wednesday morning, picking JP up en route. So
You're picking
and
them up in
then yeah.
Reading. Super.
Yeah, so then doing the second bit of the journey up with JP, and we've got a lovely Airbnb house booked, not too far from dusk till dawn, and the England skipper is in with us as well for the week.
Superb.
So really looking forward to it.
So Lee, I'm going to be joining on Thursday. So I've booked Thursday and Friday off, and I'm sort of I'm beginning to weaken now. I'm beginning to think maybe I should book Monday off as well. I haven't done because I do presentations on a Monday. They're big days for me, and I hadn't booked it off. But I'm trying to see how I can make Sunday night work.
We'll see how we go. I think structure-wise, I think we've got it. The difficulties is normally we would do the main event would be 3 days, so we would actually bring the final table back for the final day. And this year, we basically the Sunday, the final day, is the day 2. But we will be down to in the money, so we'll already be playing 15% of the field. So I think it probably will play out a similar time to the London event, to be honest, Des.
Yeah.
Would be the way I would see it. So if you need, if you need to head back on the Sunday night, that's doable. I'm staying over to the Monday just because I learnt my lesson a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's we do long days doing that, and we're not not saying feel sorry for something like that, because we do it because we love it and we love doing it. But you do 5 days straight of updating and talking to people, and first one's in the casino, last one's out at the end of it. And a couple of times I've driven back on a Sunday night. I've done that back down south and gone. It's not healthy.
I've done the same, Lee. I think in all of the APAT events that I've been to, I don't think I've ever stayed over on the last night. I've always come back. So I've driven from Scotland on the last night and done stuff like that. But sometimes, as you know yourself, because I know you've had this experience, you're driving down the motorway, it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever, on the Sunday night, having had a long couple of days after a long week. And, you're lying down with your head, sort of on the, just stuck out where the window is down and stuff, you're getting the air on the top of your forehead and you're driving.
It's not great.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's not good. Yeah, kids, don't do it. It's a very, very bad idea. Driving tired is, and I'm guilty of it in the past, but I'm proper adulting now. I've grown up to realize that's just stupid. Why would anyone do that? Yeah.
It's manic. It is manic.
Yeah,
it is manic.
But you do some crazy things when you're younger, don't you? And,
it's not. We should be like Tom, Lee. We should be like Tom. You bring the old camper van. He's got like a
Tom, who just
trailer.
who has a holiday the week before and a holiday the week after, and does a little bit of poker in between. Yeah, it's all good. Tom's looking forward to us chatting to Tom earlier on. We were talking about a couple of bits and pieces. He had a couple of questions about some of the scoring for the team event. So we were just going over that to confirm what we'd agreed and what was going to happen. I did raise one question with him because I'd had a couple of people that had asked me about the short deck.
Oh yeah,
Des. Because the one thing that he's not put out there is the hand rankings. We were talking about it the other night, if you remember, on the show. So I've said to him, have you put anywhere what the hand rankings are for the short deck? He said, no, I haven't. He said, I'll just go back to Dust to Dawn and confirm 100%, so we're all on the same page. So anyone that was wanting to know that, Tom is on it, and he will get that up, and he will add it to the WCOAP page. So all of the info is all on one page. So it doesn't matter if you want to know the schedule, how to buy in, how to get to Dust Till Dawn, recommended hotels near Dust Till Dawn, any of the structures for the events, when late regs for the event, when your chips go in play, you name it, just go on to apat.com/WCOAP and everything is updated in one place for you. Now, a couple of people made this mistake. I noticed somebody posted about it today on Facebook. You do need to scroll down. We can't fit all that information on one screen. So there, you do need to keep scrolling down, and you will find the bit you want eventually, but it is all there, I promise you. There's also the links if you want to open a Luxon Pay account, because you can still do that if you want to use that to buy in, and just confirmation of when everything's going. So on the buy-in front, whilst I'm chatting on about it, the holding tanks do close on Monday on Party Poker. So if you want to get in, or you want to remove yourself for a particular reason, maybe you play the online day one tomorrow night, and you've got a stack of chips, want to say, right, that's me done, then you can unregister from Party Poker on up till Monday. After that, your only option is to buy in is either via Luxon Pay or Dusk Till Dawn live at their cash desk. So Monday is your deadline for that.
Get it done, guys.
And the other thing, I'm just thinking about questions that people have been asking that I've responded to, because some people will private message and ask us. So one of the other questions I was asked was, well, what if I make day two with a really small stack in the online? Do I have any options? And the answer is yes, you do. You can forfeit that stack if you want to, and go and play one of the live day ones instead. You're entitled to do that. So, because sometimes you just can't get your chips in, Des. Do you know what I mean? The clock's ticking down, and somebody busts on another table, and you're like, damn it, I was trying to get a double up, or I was trying to get my chips, find a spot to get my chips in, and I've now ended up with, I don't know, less than 10 bigs. And okay, I'm in the cash, but I'd rather have another shot at it. Is your option. So you can do that. You can choose to forfeit your stack. You just need to let Tom know that that's what you want to do. It doesn't mean you min cash, though. Let's just be clear. That it doesn't mean because you can't cash twice in this event. So you can't then have another go and do better. So if you decide to play a live day one, having got through the online one, you forfeit that stack. It's gone. Chips are out of play. No more. You're back to basically a freeze out, one chance on it. We only pay out, although you're in the money if you make day two, we only pay out live stacks that are in day two. So just to be clear on that, if you're thinking, oh, great, well, I can get through the online one and it's a min cash and I'll pocket that money and I'll have another shot. Doesn't work like that. I've seen that happen in other tournaments and other places do that thing where they'll allow you to cash twice. We don't. So you can only cash once in our event. So your choice entirely. Just need to make sure Tom knows what you're planning on doing. But if you've made it through the online day one and you do play a live day two, so live day one, and Tom sees you've done it, he will forfeit your stack. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be 100 bigs. If you've played that live day one, then your stack will get forfeited. So it's one to just make sure you've communicated what your intentions
Absolutely.
are. If you're lucky enough to do that.
Listen, Lee, I always think the WCOAP is a great series of events to catch up with people at, right? We see a lot of people come to the WCOAP who don't get the chance to play other APATs during the season. And, this is a great example of that. This is coming in from Steve. APAT Season 1 live was great. Online 2020 saved my mind. Squads was amazing and so great. I wasn't going to attend DTD live, but maybe I will. We'd love to meet you, Steve. Right? We've
excellent.
We've had a lot of fun over the last year or so. Come up, make sure you introduce yourself.
And the point with it is, we keep saying this, and I know people say, "Oh yeah, all right, okay, whatever." Every event has got a cap. Dusk Till Dawn's huge. Don't get me wrong. Best venue in the UK. No issue with that. But they are capped on how many seats they've got and how many tables they've got and how many dealers they've got. So if you're thinking of wanting to play, I really strongly recommend get your seat reserved. You can buy in on Luxon Pay up to 9 o'clock the night before a tournament. So if you decide at 8 o'clock on the Wednesday night, do you know what? I fancy playing I'll fancy playing one of the comps tomorrow. If you've got a Luxon Pay account, it's a case of just going on the app. As long as you've got funds on your Luxon Pay ready to go, click in transfer to merchant, pick in Dusk Till Dawn. You'll then see a list of the APAT events on there. Click in the one you want and hitting send. It's as simple as that. And then that's your seat sorted. You can then just rock up at dusk till dawn the following day and play the event. So not a problem whatsoever. So I strongly recommend the flexibility of that. And of course, if you then cash, well, that your cash goes straight back into your Lux on Pay account. You can transfer it back into your bank if you want to. You can use it to buy into other tournaments if that's what you want to do. You can even use it to fund your party poker account if you so wanted to do that. I want to get some of that funds online. Well, you can literally in the app just transfer to your party poker account. Job done. So super flexible system, and I truly believe that that kind of thing is going to be the future of where a lot of live poker is. I know over in Vegas at the moment they've got is it Bravo, Des, I want to say. I think it's the Bravo poker system. Somebody will be able to say. So it's well worth doing. So Steve, it's Lux on Pay, as John has just typed next one down. So John's asked a good question. Does Luxon charge a fee? No, they don't for the vast majority of what they do. And to be honest, they've got a fully transparent fee breakdown on their website. Just go and have a look if you want to. They do have different tiers of account that you can get, but there is a free account that you're capable of doing. If you're doing a bank transfer in or bank transfer out, I don't think there's any charge for that. If you're transferring to merchants, there's no charge for that as well. They do charge, say, percentages for certain other things, but say it's all very clearly broken down on what they do and what they don't. And if it works for you, then great. But I've been super impressed with them, so it's well worth it. Yes, Simon says that there are fees, but say it's fairly clear on the website what there are fees for and what there aren't. So it's just a case of having a look at that and seeing what works.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost just like any sort of payment processing organization. The advantage to Lux and Pay is that they're fairly integrated within the poker world. So to be able to go onto Lux and Pay app and book a seat at an APAT event is worth whatever their small fee is, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea, the standard. So there's a standard account, which you say is not a problem whatsoever. So any deposits into your Lux on Pay via bank transfer are free. Any transfers to other Lux on Pay users is free. Receiving transfers from other Lux on Pay users is free. If you want to do currency exchange, there's a charge on that, but that's kind of understandable. You're gonna get that. Deposits to merchants is free. Withdrawals from merchants is free. If you're doing a bank withdrawal, there is a one-off fee for that. But I guess the reality of it is if you're doing if you're doing a chunky withdrawal because you've had a decent cash, then the fee on it is going to be it's going to be a little bit understandable. Yeah. If you move up to the next level of account with them, they've got lots of deals at the moment where you can have a step up on their account for buying into different comps, things like that. Then some of those things are free as well. So but it's you've only just got to go onto the website and you'll see the fees summary. And I don't think there's anything hidden there. I think it's fairly self-explanatory what's up for grabs. So,
and just to add to that, because that sounded like an advertisement.
But I shouldn't.
It's not, because we just believe in the service. APAT gets absolutely no fixed payments, no commissions, nothing like that from Lux and Pay. So we don't stand to benefit in any way by recommending it. We just think it's a really good sort of system for poker. We're happy to take advantage of it.
Yeah, and I think the more venues they can get up on there, the better it's going to be because it's actually just a good way of keeping your poker bankroll. And not every recreational player even has a bankroll necessarily. They just go and play what they want to. But I know some will have a certain amount of money that they put aside for their poker playing. Well, if you can play most of your stuff where you can use that to buy in and cash out, well, hey, it keeps it really neat and tidy for you. So,
Stu's just arrived, or he will arrive. I've just seen a message from him. Any room, just in from work. So let me just.
I've responded.
Beaten me to it, young man. Well done.
Already there. Not a problem at all.
Fantastic.
So we'll do that. But yeah, Des is completely right. Let's not like get this wrong. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say, and I don't think it's a well-known fact. The guys that manage Lux on Pay is Rob and Nick, and a lot of the team have worked maybe at Dusk Till Dawn or are still doing stuff up there, all part of that. So I mean, super trustworthy setup, and they're fully regulated anyway, so they've got to go through all the stuff they've got to do.
They're a major payment provider with Intain that owns Party Poker and Ladbrokes and Coral and people like that. So they're a high level super quality payment provider. They're just a softer service. So I see Stu has arrived, so I'll just program him in.
Lovely.
Lee, give me a mo, Stu, and we'll have you online.
And whilst we're on that, it's 5 to the hour, which means players are on the break. We're down to 21 at the moment, so this is flying through quite nicely. Before we know it, we'll be down to 2 tables, sort of thing. We're down to 3 now, so we'll be far off, and we'll be starting to play for the big money. We were saying, Stu, it's slightly disappointing, but it's nice to see new faces at the table. But no names that we recognise in the latter stages of this comp tonight. But,
yeah, I suppose it's going to happen, isn't it, with the size of the fields and the guarantees that are being offered. So you're going to have a lot of people playing. It's going to be harder for the ones we do know to kind of pick the way through the minefield. So
I don't actually think, I haven't double checked, but I don't think anybody's done more than one final table this week.
Yeah.
Which is, I know I did promise people I'd run a leaderboard for the online, but it's kind of been a little bit hardly worth doing, because it's been such a wide array of people, which is fantastic, because it means we're sending APAT medals all across the world to lots of different people, and it's fantastic from that point of view. But yeah, it is a little bit strange. On the medal front, I should just mention, if you do win an online medal with APAT, obviously if you win a live medal, well, you're there, so we can present it to you. A little bit more tricky if you win an online, as we seem to have lost Des for a second. I'm hoping he'll reappear. There he is.
Some things here.
There we go. So yeah, if you do win an online medal with APAT, you just need to go on to apat.com/medal and just fill in the little form there, which basically just gives us your latest address and the details, so we can just verify your medal, and then we can get it off in the post to you. It's by far the quickest way to do it. We do request details from party, but then we've got to then email the individuals and come back, because quite often maybe the address details that you've got on your Party Poker account aren't maybe up to date, because hey, who updates their address details with their poker accounts? I mean, it's not really a done thing. So it's by far the easiest and quickest way to make sure we can get your medal to you as soon as possible. Just jump onto apat.com/medal, pop your details in there. All we need to know is your name, email address, what tournament you were playing, what position you finished, and then your current address, and then we can pretty much get it in the post to you straight away. So we found that is a much slicker way of managing it going forward. For the online stuff, obviously live, well, hey, you'll get a handshake and maybe even a photo. What more can we say?
If you're lucky.
Yeah. How's your day been, Stu? Good?
Not bad. Like I say, just in from work. It was a fairly long one. Like a 9 till 10:30.
Ouch.
Okay.
9 in the morning till 10:30. Sorry, I should say.
Wow, that's a long old day.
But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was on a section that I don't usually do in the kitchen, so that was interesting. Only managed to burn myself a couple of times.
Are people proper out eating and being merry as if, so are we kind of like, are we well past the kind of lockdown, COVID, any kind of restrictions or anything now? Is it just
to
normal you're finding?
Yeah, very much so. We've been a little bit quiet. We're usually out this time of year just before the schools break up, and then when it's the summer, it'll just go wild again, basically.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So Steve 40 is in the chat. Stu, he had a bit of a min cashed in this comp tonight.
Well done.
So he says, hello, Stu, the bearded monster. He says, is Stu going to Dusk Till Dawn next week? Is the big question.
Well, I'm hoping to. Yeah, it just depends on work. I'm still negotiating with my boss because he owes me a few favors. So I'm trying to call them in at the minute, and we'll hopefully be down there for a part of it, maybe the weekend.
Yeah, well, that's the great thing I think about the structure is 5 days, but you can, some will go for all 5 days, and I know some of the players are traveling over on the Tuesday. I saw Angie posting up asking about trains and things because they're coming over from Northern Ireland and they're coming over on the Tuesday. Others will maybe rock up and maybe play the Friday night comp and stay for the weekend. Others might just turn up on the Saturday and play and play their main event shot there and see what else is going across the weekend. So hopefully it's nice and flexible for everybody to fit in with what everyone's doing these days.
That's a good thing it's always been about. You can always just turn up for whichever part of it you can turn up to, wherever it's been. And it's just great to get down and see people, especially with the big break that APAT have had from like playing live, obviously barring like the start of the season and stuff. So yeah, it's just good to get back seeing everyone again.
Yeah,
the team event was fun. Yeah, the team event was fantastic just to get out and meet everyone again.
It's a good atmosphere. The team event always is a good atmosphere, but I genuinely feel that the team event we ran at Dust Till Dawn earlier on in the year, it just felt, maybe it was because it just was that we hadn't done it for a few years, but it felt really good.
Yeah,
a really great atmosphere. Everyone enjoying themselves. Some might have enjoyed themselves a little bit more than they probably should have. It felt really good.
I'd have enjoyed myself more if I didn't enjoy myself so much on day one that I lost half my stack to one of the APAT show boys, one of our colleagues, in fact, in the APAT show.
Who shall go unnamed.
When I managed to do about 500,000 chips to him in the last level, while very drunk and trying to run a bluff.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously we've got you on the show tomorrow night with JP. You might want to just get a little bit of revision in around drinks, cocktails, and glassware, because JP seems on seems on an absolute drinking quiz bender at the moment.
I saw this.
Yeah,
the first thing I thought was Blue Lagoon as well, to be honest with you. I thought you were a bit more classy than that, JP.
So after last night, guys, where he was asking everyone to guess the actual glassware, he's in the APAT show chat thread and posting up pictures of cocktails this afternoon, going, "What's the name of this?" And it was a blue cocktail. I think it had a bit of lime in it. And straight away, obviously, we're all way down the list of understanding drinks. The Blue Lagoon is all anybody could think of. But obviously, the comment was, well, obviously, it's not a Blue Lagoon, because otherwise he wouldn't have posted it. So
true.
Yes. I don't think we even got the actual answer in the end. So
tomorrow I've got a game of cricket at 2:00. But we're actually top of the league. A little thin brag there.
Very impressive. Very nice. Yeah.
Won was it 6 out of our 8 games so far this season, and we're playing bottom of the league.
Decent.
We played them last week, and I wasn't there because that was obviously in Vegas, and we scraped past them by like 2 wickets. Just beat them, and they were on Twitter giving it large about how the team was top of the league only just beat them and scraped past them. So we've got like a WhatsApp group for our cricket team, like with all the regular players in it, and so I've just basically screenshotted that and posted it, and now we're going to absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, everyone's. We've got a lad who basically he was in the he played for us. He's same age as me. He played for us when he was in his between ages 14 and 20 odd. They joined the army. He was in the Navy. Sorry, in the Navy. Sorry, can't get them confused, can you? And so he's played in the West Indies for the Navy and all sorts. He's a very He got clocked. His bowling got the speed of it got clocked at 88 miles an hour.
Bloody hell! He sounds like a pro, Lee. We can't have him.
Yeah.
He basically, we're playing on a Sunday, but he can only play Sundays now. He's moved back to the area because of work. So we've basically got a cheat code in our team. It's fantastic, by the way. So last game I captained, he scored 100 and took 4 wickets.
So what's your role now with the team, Stu? You mentioned you captain. Do you captain all the time, or just odd games? Or, what do you offer from a playing role now? Obviously, captain is massively important because you're picking when the bowlers come on. You're picking the fielding positions. You're but what do you do? What can you do with a bat and a ball these days?
Well, I was always a bowler. I'm in the top 15 wicket takers of all time for our cricket club, which is another thin brag. And when I took over as captain, we had we made a conscious effort to get the juniors coming through. So we had a group of lads coming they were between the ages of 14 and 15 basically, and that was 2 or 3 years ago. They were 13, 14, 15, and we basically just concentrated over the last 2.5, 3 years of getting them into the team, getting them playing cricket and improving them. And this year, 4 of them are now playing for the first team as well.
Wow! Okay.
So that's how much they've come on. And this year we've always been a middle of the table kind of team, and we win a few, lose a few. This year we just said, look, we'll go as far as you boys want to go, and obviously we're tearing the league a new one at the minute, which is fantastic. It's just
it's
been
nice
like
to see.
for me, like basically, I'm coming towards the end of my cycle as captain. So basically, because they were all playing, I've taken like more of a back seat while bowling. So basically, my game for me is to turn up and captain these lads and get them to play as well as they can. And
do you as
them.
a roller captain? I know certainly with cricket clubs. I used to go to a regular sports fundraiser for one of the local cricket clubs down in Southampton. Used to get invited by a friend of mine that worked in recruitment, and he was in the cricket.
Yeah.
And it got the impression that the captain is very much. It's not just an on-field role. It's about the whole club and fundraising and making sure that there's funds for the club. So it's quite a big it's quite a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm on the committee. I've been on the committee for about 8 years now. Just trying to just raising funds and making decisions for the club and like trying to do things to improve like the facilities and things. And like say we noticed as a club, like it was about 5 or 6 years ago, we noticed that we were short of players, and we made a conscious effort to bring to really put work into our junior section. So I've done a bit of like work with the juniors, like the coaching and stuff. And it's just like it's been really good to see them. Like say, for me, that's the enjoyment I get. Is seeing these young lads who I've been working with and like helping out and like nurturing a little bit, which sounds strange for me, I know. Don't worry about it. We're bringing the social side on as well.
But does cricket have the same? I mean, football tends to obviously have under 8s, under 9s, under 10s, under 11s, under 12s. Does cricket have all that age range, or is it more is it grouped a little bit more from an age point of view?
No, we have got teams. We've got 111. The last count was about 120 juniors, I think it was, at the club now.
Oh wow, amazing!
From like basically it's like All Stars, which is like the big ECB initiative, which is like basically like 6 years old, up to like we've got like that. Then we've got like under 9s, under 10s, under 11s, under 12s, under 13s, under 14s, under 15s.
Look at that.
Under 17s, under 19s, and the senior teams.
Wow! And has anybody from your club gone on to much bigger things? I mean,
at the minute we've got, I think it's 5 of our like under 15s and younger are like on Yorkshire's like what they call pathways. So basically they're like basically on Yorkshire's like radar, and they're like they go down for coaching sessions at Headingley and stuff.
Wow, amazing!
We've got a young lad who he started playing for me this year actually. Called Harry, and he's like he was 13 his first like first 4 games of the season, and now he scored his first senior 50 at the age of 13 years old.
Bloody hell! In his senior game.
Yeah, his mum used to play cricket for England, and he's just like it's scary how good he was hitting sixes in adult cricket at the age of 13 years old. It's absolutely. I mean, I think a person is cheating playing cricket and having talent. They don't know the misery of turning up, getting injured, and just like getting out for a duck and having your bowling smashed everywhere, because they're all really good. But it's great seeing them come to, but that's the type of person we're trying to like bring on. And like, so basically he comes in our team and he bats at number 3 at the age of like, he's just turned like 14. But he's like, it's about giving them their heads, and it's like, just say, there you go. We're going to make sure you've got an environment where you enjoy your cricket mainly. That's what we try to do, is basically make sure they enjoy it. And then this year, like with some of the older juniors we've got now that have come through, we said, right, it's been well and good the last few years enjoying yourselves and stuff, but now I want you to go out there and start winning us matches. And they've taken it on. They really have, and it's fantastic to see.
I know very little about cricket, but obviously it just wasn't a thing in Ireland when I was growing up. But I worked for a couple of years with a guy called Ollie Roland Jones. I had a beer with him at London Bridge going back maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Good guy, and his brother is Toby Roland Jones. Yeah. And Ollie plays, and has played, I think, at quite a high level himself. But Toby obviously went on to play for England and stuff like that. I don't know enough about the game to know how good or otherwise he is. But
well, if you play for England, you're very very good
obviously player. You're good. Yeah. Absolutely.
We played against a team called Wolverhampton up here. We played against a guy called Mark Davies, who played one-day internationals for England, and he played for Wolverhampton's 3rd team because he wanted to play with his nephew. So he was basically rolling out for Wolverhampton's 3rd team against our 3rd team. I bowled at that man for 10 overs and got carted everywhere.
Literally, you don't appreciate it, do you?
It's scary.
I know everybody sits at home and goes,
looks easy.
Yeah, I mean, I could if I used to play regular 5-a-side football on a Sunday night against. So got introduced to a group of guys that play for BAE. And so we have a regular game, really nice bunch of guys, really competitive game on a Sunday night. They were short of a player one week, and so one of the guys brought along his son-in-law to play during the summer. And so this is great, yeah. I mean, just so you know, he's a bit, and he was the right back for Brighton. But when Brighton must have been down a couple of divisions at that point.
Yeah.
So
Fantastic.
we're just playing indoor. We're just playing indoor five-a-side football. Never got near him all night.
No.
Never got near him. His first touch, honestly, never got anywhere near him all night. And you just went, okay, yeah, all right, I get it now. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
So I've played cricket against 2 professionals before. One was Liam Plunkett, who obviously played for England.
Liam Plunkett's absolute quality.
It was when he was about 18, 19. And he was a big angry bastard then as well. And he bowled like rockets. And one's another one called Franklin Rose, who played for the West Indies, like a massive pace bowler. And he'd retired, but he was kind of still playing for proing for local teams. I think he came over and he's playing for them. We played their first team in a cup match for our third team. This is basically, it was like Man City against Darlington. And I can remember bowl. He came in a bowl. I went out the back and he destroyed our top order. And I'd gone out there because we had a team full of kids and he was bowling rockets. I was like, I can't let them go out there. And I walked out there bat and he starts running in. He's blocking out the sun. He's that big. And basically, he bowls his ball. And I just took a swing. He went for 4. He went, oh, yeah. Nodded at me and walked back to his mark. And my captain's at the other end. He was like, oh, we're in batsman. To the other end. He's like, just shook his head at me. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Your old
next
mate.
Ball went the next ball went past my nose. I didn't see it leave his hand.
Close call.
The next ball basically bowled it and I top edged it for 4. Next ball, he came in and again the ball's in his hand and then my stumps just got flattened. And I was just you just think to yourself, after the match having a beer, there was a lovely bloke. He goes, oh, you played some nice shots there and all. He shook my hands up. I was like, yeah, I didn't see any of the balls. He's like, yeah, I can still bowl at 85 miles an hour, which in professional cricket, it's average. And I was pretty couldn't even see it.
Wow.
Couldn't see the ball.
I will tell you who is not average, and that is one Mr. Haycock, who joins us, top of the screen. Good evening to you, Paul.
There he is.
Beautiful introduction. How lovely.
How you doing, Paul? You all right?
That's not what I'm used to at all. Yeah, I'm really good. How are you?
Yeah, we're all very good. We're down, just to give you an update to get you up to speed, we're down to 14 players in this 6-Max Turbo KO. We don't really know any of the players. It's a little bit like that on a Saturday night, but we've hit the guarantee. And so the guys are all going to min cash now of $121. I think the winner tonight plus bounties is probably going to pick up somewhere around 2,500. I think tonight is going to be is where we're going to be ending. Now, Stu, I don't know whether you'll have caught. Did you catch any of the show last night? Probably not.
No.
So I did a bit of a reveal on a couple of the new T-shirt designs.
Oh, fantastic!
Which, I'll show you what we've done.
There's one in particular you'll like a lot, Stu.
So we I don't know whether you saw earlier on in the week, we've got a few new designs that I'm going to bring up to and we're going to give away and whatever. But so here's the first one. We've got so we've got that one. So that's the first one up for grabs. Second one we've got. JP wasn't as keen on this as I thought he was going to be, I must admit. But hey, there's no pleasing everybody.
Love it.
Yeah, but the one that he really liked, which I know you're going to love, 100%, you'll be keen on this one, and I've got one of these for you. Stu, so if you do make it to Dusk Till Dawn,
pull it back a bit. There you go.
Yeah, I want that. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I love that.
So we've got one of those that's got your name on it, my friend.
Fantastic.
If you can get, if you can't get to D2D for any reason, I'll get one up in the post to you, and we'll get that.
Let's do it. That is brilliant.
But we've got a couple of a few different designs, a bit of people. We've only got 1 or 2 of each, so it's a bit limited on size or whatever. But we'll give a few of them away next week, and certainly want to make sure all of the team that have helped us out during the streaming this week pick up a T-shirt and get one to wear around Dusk Till Dawn next week. So we will do that.
That just means you're going to need 10 of the NFL ones.
Well, I did say last night I've got 3 of them. And I've got a funny feeling I may take orders. So
One Dan Austin, as you balked me, I must at least deserve a T-shirt. And come on, if we're going to show the NFL Where do I have it here? If you're going to show the NFL, I've got to run the 30 seconds. Here we go, guys. Good memories.
Well, this is a song of drinking, and for a drink it will be sung, and I'll sing it right, and I'll say goodnight, unless they're serving another one.
We're never going to get tired of playing that, I think. Guys, remember,
I just love that photo because I have had that look of that man so many times in my life.
Yeah.
It's just like, Stu, what are you doing? It's like, every time.
It's like,
just that
really?
little sideways
Really, Stu?
glance. Yeah. It's like, every time. Perfect picture.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. So we're down to say 13, heading down to a final table. Now we did talk on the show last night about well, we actually played a few clips. Past few nights we played a few clips around Turbo Millionaire, and we've been talking about different bits and pieces. And I mentioned last night on the show about the penalty shootout game that I put together. Well, we got 2 contestants here now, Des.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So for a bit of fun, we could do this if Paul and Stu are up for a little bit of a quiz penalty.
I'm going to get absolutely nailed by it.
No one told me that there was going to be thinking involved when I joined when I joined this after a bit of drinking at 11 p.m. on a Saturday
It's all right.
night.
We'll do this. So I guess Stu's obviously worrying about it now. Normally we do a coin flip on this, and we'd as to who picks the subject, because there's 3 subjects you can choose from, and therefore who then gets to go first on the selection. Okay, so how this works is we'll be looking for the top 11 of something, and basically you take it alternate turns to have a pick. If you get it right, you score the penalty. If you get it wrong, you miss the penalty. And ultimately, after 5 guesses each, somebody's won the penalty shootout. If not, we go to sudden death. Okay,
we're both just trying to avoid a down low incident, aren't we? Basically,
basically, yes. Yes.
You're putting me in a quiz against a man who's far more intelligent than I am. It's not fair.
Okay, well, in which case, Stu, do you want to allow Paul to go first, but you pick the subject?
Yeah, why not?
Whoa, he picks the subject. Well, we Middlesbrough right backs now or something.
No. He's going to have
Justin Hoyt.
He's going to have 3 to choose from, so it'll be as simple as that. He'll just have 3 to choose from. So
this is already grossly unfair. Can I just put that out?
You reckon
that he's choosing the category?
Oh, he's moaning it in already. Listen to him. He's like literally moaning it in.
Right then, Stu. So the categories you can choose from. I'm going to give you a choice
of
world.
Look at them.
World geography, 90s football, or the periodic table.
I lose all of them. He's older than me, and he's more intelligent than me. The other 2, it's not fair. 90s
What do you
football.
want? You're going to go. You're going to go for 90s football, right? Okay, then.
Welcome,
So
Paul.
basically, Paul will be up first. You give you roughly sort of 10 seconds to come up with an answer. If you haven't come up with an answer after 10 seconds, it'll be a blank and it'll be a miss. Okay, we'll move on to the next.
Middlesbrough players from the 1990s. Let's go.
So you're going to have.
So the trouble is, although I know a bit about football, what I'm rubbish at is knowing what happened when. So if this is like
Okay,
FA
here we
Cup
go.
winners of the 90s or something,
Here we go then. We are going to be looking for
All the best, Paul.
the starting 11 for England in the 1996 European Championship semi-final versus Germany. So, Paul, you are up first.
I was 13.
Who are you going for?
Bloody hell.
I would have thought that Simo would still be in goal, right? David Seaman.
David Seaman is Paul's first shot. And he scores.
1-0.
Over to you, Stu. Over to you, Stu.
Paul Gascoigne.
Okay, so Stu's going Paul Gascoigne. Back of the net. It's 1-1. Back to you, Paul.
Here we go.
Stu probably isn't mentioning him out of principle because of the Newcastle connection, but I've got to go Shearer, haven't I?
Alan easily slotted into the bottom corner. Not a
2-1.
problem.
Very
at all.
comfortable there.
Stuart Pearce.
It's good. It's good. I
Stuart
think he's
Pearce. It's 2-2. This is looking good.
Are we allowed subs that came on?
No, it's a starting 11.
Because I think he only came on a sub, and I've been angry at him ever since for hitting the post with that massive chance that Darren Anderton
I mean, if you
Sick
go
note.
straight,
that's good. I was about to say him. Thank God.
Sick note.
have I
who are you
made
going
a
for,
massive
Paul?
error there? Okay,
There you
well, I've gone Shearer, then I'd better go Sheringham, hadn't I?
I hate you.
Teddy Sheringham?
Teddy Sheringham, 3-2 to Paul.
Oh,
If this
that's a good
goes
score.
5-all, I mean, Paul's going to have the chance to win this because obviously there's only 11 correct answers. So
I
can
don't
go
know
through the
who
whole
else
lot.
played for England. Centre halves around then. No, I don't.
going to have to push you for an answer, Stu. Otherwise, it's going to be a miss.
Tony Adams.
Oh, he might be.
Oh,
He
it
might be a
it
No,
wasn't a very strong.
really?
It wasn't a very strong run up from Stu, but he's put it in
Bloody
the back of
hell.
the net. Yeah.
Whoa,
Back
he's
to
just
you then, Paul.
dribbled in.
Yeah, that's a problem now.
Oh,
No, it is. It is. I'm going to say, this might not be the right timing, though. This might be a bit late. I don't know who played centre mid.
I was thinking that.
Going to need an answer,
Obviously,
Paul.
with Gascoigne.
Time out.
I'm going to say Paul Ince, but it's
I
not
hate
right,
you.
But it's
I'd
not
have said
right,
Paul
is it?
Ince. I'd have said Paul Ince.
I'm going to say Paul
Oh,
Ince.
he's there.
Oh, he's in
I
there.
hate
Well
you.
done. Nice
That
goal.
helps.
Did not look confident with the run up again, but
That
he's put it in
helps.
the back of the net.
That
Yeah.
does help.
Back to you then, Stu.
1996.
Can we do the other two categories as well? Because I'll smash them at them.
Of course you will. You're going to smash me at this one. I'm not
I'd
getting
be
any
asking
more.
myself who would have likely been beside Tony Adams at centre back.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I don't know. Des, this is the issue.
Oh, is this a team game now?
I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm going to have to push you for an answer, Stu. Otherwise, it's
Come
going
on,
to be a
Stu.
miss.
Find the Panenka.
Let me think. I'm thinking. I don't know. Martin Keown.
I like it.
He's gone. Martin Keown. Oh,
No!
Keeper saved it. So this is going to be it, Paul.
Oh,
this is
my
for the
word.
game. If
What do
you
you
can
mean?
get one more-
No. What do you mean it's for the game? He's got one wrong. That's him disqualified,
Yeah,
isn't it?
no,
Is that not how it works?
He's got a penalty
because
each.
You can get it wrong,
Paul,
and he
do
can
not
find a
worry.
winner.
I haven't got a clue who else played for England in that team.
Oh, I know,
Who are you going
but I
for,
can't
Paul?
say.
Who would have been,
To finish it in style, Paul. Who are you going for?
Who would have been the other centre back alongside Tony Adams?
You. I shouldn't say anything, so I won't say.
He's
anything.
going to be wildly pissed off, isn't he, Lee? I think he will.
Massively pissed off. Yeah.
It's too early for Rio, isn't it? Rio Ferdinand.
Is that your guess?
Can't be sure.
I guess is exactly the right word.
Okay.
I
he's
think
going-
that's going to be wide of the post. I
Rio
think.
Ferdinand. It is very wide of the
So
post.
much too
Can
early.
Stu find an
Come on,
answer?
Stu.
that could bring
Be
this level?
relentless. Be
Can he do
relentless.
this?
Attack the day, Stu. Attack the day.
Honestly, my mind's just laughing at me at the minute, going, "No help." Right, so we need a right back. We need a left.
Oh, there we go.
fielder.
Be relentless. Attack the day, Stu.
I'm gonna have to need an answer because otherwise it's gonna be an over the top.
Lee
Be
Dixon.
better,
thing.
Stu. Be better than your brother.
Who are you
Be
going for?
better than your brother.
I don't know what you're talking about, Des. You're giving me clues. I haven't got an idea what you're on about.
I'll bet Paul does. Although maybe he doesn't.
I'm
Go
gonna have
John
to
Barnes.
time-
John Barnes. John Barnes.
John Barnes.
Oh,
is a
yeah, I like
great-
it.
It's a great guess. Oh, and it's over. Paul wins the
Lord.
penalty
Get in.
shootout.
That's a relief
Okay.
because I had
That
no
was
idea what you were on
brutal.
about.
So you were missing. So you were missing in total 4 players. Des, do you want to try
Don't
and fill
say
in the
Lee.
4 that they're missing?
Well, look, I can't tell you 4, but I think Gary Neville was probably the right back.
He wasn't.
Was he?
No,
They
no,
can't
no,
even-
it's definitely not. I
He
ruled
He
out
was
Neville.
either.
Is
He
it?
was
That's
either
as bad as Rio
injured or-
Ferdinand.
He was either injured or suspended for that game. I think if he was
kidding
even
me?
in the squad.
Okay, so I was giving you a lot of dud information there, but with my
Yeah,
relentlessness
thank
and
you.
attack the day.
Wasn't Lee Dixon a right back? Was it?
No, it wasn't.
Thank God.
Paul Parker? Too late.
No, the right back you'll never guess in the middle of this. Although you should guess the player, but you wouldn't guess that. I think he was playing right back that game.
Rob Jones? No, I've no idea.
No, David Platt was the number 2.
Why did I say
That's
David?
mad.
I should have got him for a midfielder, for God's
That's
sake.
mad. I
playing-
would have.
Playing alongside Tony Adams, you are going to kick yourselves here, 100%. Because if you think about it, how they went out, it was Gareth
Southgate,
Southgate.
yeah.
Oh, for God's
Oh,
sake.
of course.
I should have
Jesus
known that.
wept.
You're fucking
And
borough
the
boy.
other 2 midfielders that you're missing, you named one of them,
Who did?
Darren Anderton.
He actually played.
No, he came on a sub.
Sick note.
No, he started.
I was
It's a semi-final.
100% Sure, he came on a sub.
And the other midfielder was Steve McManaman.
Oh, I nearly said
Ah.
him as well. The
bloody hell.
I wouldn't have got my man if we carried on all night. I'm annoyed about Anderton.
Well, I tell you, Dan Austin was saying Platty, and Gary McBride was saying Lee Dixon. So there you go. That was a really good little quiz, Lee. Nice job.
Can we do the other categories? I'm enjoying
90s
this.
cricketers.
90s cricketers.
I want to whitewash him 3-0. Why can't we do the other two categories?
I'll have to change. I mean,
we're going to lose the audience if you go with the periodic table, Lee. I'm just telling you now.
We're definitely not doing periodic table. I guarantee you that much for nothing.
Okay,
but hey, come on, you've watched Breaking Bad.
I mean, I could do you another football one if you want to do another football.
No, because that was close.
We can, but can I go for like a quick drink and a ciggy first?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. I'll do you another.
I need more wine before I get.
I'll do you another guessable.
Yeah,
I'll do you another guessable.
Swarrow's team from the
UEFA
Cup final, yeah.
No, I reckon you're okay at geography, Stu. You'll get some countries. It'll be like countries beginning with the letter something.
Yeah. You know me. I'm not anything too overly difficult. They're always guessable. That's for sure.
I'm not sure about this. I'll be back in a minute.
So in the poker, we are down to 12.
Hello.
So it's starting to tighten up a little bit. Aces versus queens, and the queen has hit for Lars.
That's
cheers.
Not
can
you?
Can you hear me all right? By the way, I'm experimenting. I'm experimenting with different headphones that hopefully don't hiss this time.
It's a bit scratchy. Your sound is never perfect, Paul, which is unusual. Normally, sound is good. I don't know why it's scratchy. It's probably one little component somewhere.
Yeah, and that's why I tried different headphones. So we've established it's not the headphones. It's obviously the socket.
It might be your laptop. I mean, it might be the laptop connection. You know, just stuff going in and out of it over the years.
This one does have a USB option as well. So let's try that.
Yeah. So Dan Austin was in the chat saying, David Platt, Gary McBride suggested Lee Dixon. I don't know why Lee Dixon. I don't know why Platt was playing right back. If it was that was just the shirt numbers from that game. So. Starting 11, but bear in mind I do pull this information from different websites and bits and pieces, and so I know if you're absolutely adamant that Anderton came off the bench, then
no, I don't doubt it. Well, I do doubt it, but not enough to say that you're definitely wrong.
Did you see Steve Hodge, bless his cotton socks, sold his Maradona shirt from the Hand of God match?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. How much did it go for?
It went for like, I want to say about $2 million or something like that. I mean, it went for just an exorbitant amount of money. It might have even been more than that. Oh, wow. Just going back a few weeks ago. Incredible.
Okay.
So apparently, via Tom Bacon, Neville was suspended for the Spain match, and I think that they kept the same side for the semi.
Yeah. So, and he's saying England played 3 at the back with Platt as a right wing back. Okay. Yeah. That all adds up, doesn't it? So
it does seem strange. Well, maybe as a right wing back, perhaps. And England made no subs in 120 minutes versus Germany.
Is this better without the scratchy sound now that I've just dispensed with the headphones altogether?
Slightly better,
scratchy, but it's only tiny. I mean, it's negligible.
Okay, that's just weird now. Then if it's still scratchy because I've got no headphones in at all anymore.
That's what I think. It might just be your laptop. You know, it could be just a small component in there.
Maybe.
All right, I'm back. I dispensed with the cigarette.
This is very. We got very, very even stacks here. Everything's between 20 and 40 bigs. So this one we could be in for the long haul again. Is this one a turbo? Sorry, forgive my ignorance.
Yeah, no, it is a turbo.
Okay,
so it'll be finished. It'll be similar to last night's one, which finished just after midnight. So I wouldn't expect this to go on for
we'll be finished by the time Paul McCartney is.
Yeah, about 40 odd minutes, and we should be we'll be done with that. I would have thought.
What did you say about Paul McCartney, Paul?
I said we'll be finished by the time Paul McCartney is. He's live on stage now, isn't he? I don't mean he's like he's going to be dead by the end of the night. Okay. I mean,
I was going to say, yeah, wow.
Just I wasn't entirely sure whether you knew something.
No,
yeah,
no.
Slightly,
not that I'm aware of. No, he can for a camel.
Yeah. Yeah, all good. So this is tickler. So do you want to do another football one?
Yeah,
then?
Oh, come on, then.
Well, that one was close. So
we'll let Stu let Stu go first.
does this mean I get to pick the category this time? Because
I'm gonna give you the football one.
You've only got one.
So you don't really from that point of view, I guess.
Well picked, Paul. Well done.
That's choice. Absolute cooler there. Ace King against Ace Queen on the final table in the Turbo.
Yeah, so we're nearly there now. So then we're going to do we'll do top 11 all-time English Premier League goal scorers.
So they have to be English.
Nice.
No, they don't have to be English, but it's the English Premier League, the EPL. So that's what I'm after. So Stu,
just Premier League or English League?
Yeah.
Premier League.
EPL, Premier League. Yeah, so it's off the Premier League website. So it's the top
from the start
from the
start of football in 2001.
Yeah, since football started. Yeah.
Alan Shearer.
Oh, I think that's fairly safe.
we can go with a safe back of the net for Stu.
Wayne Rooney.
And that makes it 1-1.
Thierry Henry.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, back of the net from Stu.
See, I'm not even 100% about this one. I'm going to say Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Ooh.
Was he there long enough?
No, Paul's put one past the post.
Chance, Stu. Come on, Stu. Chance.
Early on.
Michael Owen.
Oh, I like it. Surely.
Yes, Stu takes a comfortable lead here now. Paul's going to need this one, otherwise the pressure's really on.
That might be enough to do it, Lee.
Aguero's probably there, is he?
Aguero!
Yeah, you get Aguero.
He shoots, he scores.
Why have I said Ruud van Nistelrooy there? Schoolboy era. Absolute schoolboy era.
Didier Drogba.
Oh, that's a good shot, I think.
Oh, no.
What? No, really? Wow.
Keepers saved it. Not in the top 11 all time.
Are you mad?
I'll tell you who will be there. Andy Cole.
Andy Cole.
I'll let you have Andrew. Yeah, no problem at all.
See, now I'm in trouble because I'm going to go for a controversial one, and it's silly of me. Oh, no, do I? Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
Ooh.
Oh no! He's put it
wide.
He's
let him in.
He's put it wide. He's let Paul in.
I've got it narrowed down to 2 as well. I've got 2 in mind, and I bet only one of them's right. That might both be. I can't say the other one though. Can I? Because we'll get to sudden death if I get this wrong.
We have a read.
4 to hit. 4 to hit.
So I'm going to say Robin van Persie.
Yeah, good call.
Oh, he's missed.
No,
he's missed.
No.
He said so. We go to sudden death. We go to sudden death. It's back with you, Stu.
Come on, brain.
You've blocked me with your good call, shout.
Not
Ravanelli, no?
You are?
Not Ravanelli.
Have you just tried to help him?
He scored 15 goals in one season. That was it in the Premier League.
Oh, I know. No, surely not.
Robbie Fowler.
Oh, shit.
Go on, get in.
Robbie Fowler scores for Stu, which means Paul's got to put this one in.
The problem now, isn't it? So the other one, I discounted the other one. I thought Van Persie was more likely than the other one I had in mind because he's a bit late to the party. But am I going to come up with anybody else?
He's just ravaged with the doubt, Lee.
Gonna need an answer.
Bad, isn't it? I'll say Jamie Vardy then.
Yeah. He shoots.
Oh, he's missed.
Outside of the post.
There you go.
Right,
it was very. I mean, I
was going to go Ian Wright for my next one. Was Ian there?
No, Ian wasn't in the top. Ian was 20. He's 22nd on this. Paul, just to give you an idea of where you're at, right? Your Robin van Persie guess, he was 13th.
Oh, dreadfully unlucky.
Your Jamie Vardy guess was 14th on the list.
God's sake.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
Didier
Drogba is way down. He's 34th 31st on the list.
Did Gerard?
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank is 15th on the list, Stu.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good guess.
Did Gerard make that, Lee?
No, Ruud van Nistelrooy was 36. So we were missing 4. So anybody at home want to have a go at the 4 that we're missing? I mean, one glaringly obvious one, still playing.
I mean, Ronaldo's not there, is he? Surely.
Ronaldo is probably on the list, but it'll be a way down it, I'd guess.
Harry Kane.
So Tom Bacon says Frank Lampard, correct? He's 6th on the list. Very well done to him. Ronaldo's a bit further down. He didn't play that many.
Gerrard?
No,
not Salah.
Harry Kane is there. Harry Kane's 5th.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Jermaine Defoe is 9th.
Oh, okay.
Jermaine Defoe.
And then 11th on the list is Les Ferdinand.
Ferdinand was mentioned. Tom Bacon.
Cristiano Ronaldo is 32nd on the list, just ahead of Matt Letizia.
Not scored that many goals in the Premier League, has he? That's a problem.
No.
Good.
So,
It's
good little game.
One won the proper one then, and the second one didn't count. That's
I think you'll find it's winner takes all, mate. Last call the winner.
Okay. Well, geography it is. Then.
I'm sure Lee's got another football quiz up his sleeve.
I don't think I've got any more football ones, so let me just check.
NFL?
I've got...
Periodic.
Yeah. NFL, you'd be laughing with, wouldn't you?
NFL, no chance.
Yeah, I've got a football one, but it's a little bit out of date because it only went up to it's European Championship goal scorers up to 2016, so it doesn't include the 2021.
Definitely not that then.
Thierry Henry, Nicholas Anelka.
You're gonna have to go with your world geography then.
Robbie Keane.
The option.
Let's go. I'll go geography and give Paul his win. Come on.
Do you want to do world geography or US geography?
World.
Oh, all right, we'll go world, shall we?
Are we going to end this with world geography? This is where this is going to be decided.
By the sounds of it feels like US would be more fair, to be honest with you.
Unless the US geography one is name a state, then
okay, we'll go world geography. Who's going to get to go first, and who gets to go second in this?
I don't know. I chose the category, Stu. So you decide. You do the.
I'll go. I'll get it wrong first.
You're going to get it wrong first. That's fair. That's fair enough. Right then, so this is the decider. This is going to decide it, Des. The tension is...
Let's go. Loving it.
There somewhere. So it's world geography we're doing, and what we're after is the top 11 countries in the UN by population that begin with a vowel.
Are you having a... What is wrong with you?
Holy Jesus.
Top 10 by population that begin with a vowel.
So just big countries that start with a vowel, Stu. I mean, come on.
United States of America.
There you go. You scored one. There we go.
1-0.
India.
Oh, I hate you.
And it's 1-1.
Come on, Stu. E.
Stop shouting things at
Well,
me.
it's a team game again. What's he doing?
Italy.
Good.
2-1. Come on,
Stu. Good back of the net.
Why? I feel victimised. Why?
I'm up for the underdog. Stu is the self-declared underdog, and that's what we do around here.
Stu's not going to pick up on your clue.
I'm going Armenia next, mate. You're in trouble.
I'm going to take it myself and have Egypt. Egypt.
2 apiece.
So cocky. Oh.
You got Des saying E to you. He says E. He said E, and you said Italy.
I think the last word I said was Salah.
I ignore Des religiously. Leave me alone.
Okay, I missed out London on the sissies beginning with an L, so I'd ignore me too.
Let's start there, yeah.
Oh.
Is the United Kingdom a country or not?
In respect of this quiz, yes, it is.
United Kingdom. It's probably still not, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Scored it. 3 out of 3, Stu.
I think you're good.
3 out of 3.
Doing well here, Stu.
Oh, come on, boy genius.
Hardly. I'm already torn between two. I'm going to say Algeria. That's a big country. Might not have a lot of people in it, but it's a big.
Oh, but it's a miss.
There you go.
Unlucky.
You'll be hurt. You'll be painful to know. Let's just say you hit the post. It went against the other post, hit the keeper, and then bounced out.
That's 12,
that's how close you were. Yeah,
that one's 12. Great.
Yeah.
Paul, you'll also be able to know that I am absolutely out of ideas.
Perfect.
You need to quickly look at the chat. Is what you need to look at. Yeah.
Don't
look at the chat. Don't look at the chat.
I wouldn't do that. I actually got. I realized I got messages during the first football quizzes. I didn't look at either. Thank you.
I ignored those because I was concentrating.
Concentrating, getting things wrong. I had one there as well. And I've forgotten because I'm an idiot.
It's a good 10 seconds, this, isn't it?
Look, right. It's a
clock.
I'll play a time bank card. Thank you.
Kangaroo down sport.
Australia. We'll go for that one.
There's like 5 people.
There's 5 people. Des, you're screwing me over all the time.
Oh, it's a miss. It's a miss.
No! What?
It's a miss.
Okay.
Seriously, don't listen to Duffy. What are you going to go for, Paul?
I'm more confident with this one. I'm going to go with Argentina.
I need to Argentina.
I don't know. It's in the chat box. It's in the chat box. It's a goal.
Argentina's a win. Back to you, Stu.
Can we mute Des for the rest of this?
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Stu. This is for you and I. Just the two of us.
No, I hate. Shut up. Go away. Leave me alone. Bad man.
Stay tuned, folks, for the final table of the poker. It's going to follow as soon as this quiz concludes.
Sorry, I've just absolutely nailed my final answer as well. I've got a cracker. It's probably wrong, but it's good anyway.
Oh, you said it, didn't you? I hate you.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, come on, Stu. I'm going to need an answer from you.
Indonesia.
The answer's left, so we can't take that one.
Well, you've got to get one of them between you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Ethiopia's a good one. Wouldn't have got that. Wouldn't have been near that.
Thank you, Des.
I thought we agreed you were being quiet.
I've had a technical problem here. We've probably missed your last answer, but it's up on the board. Dear.
No, man.
So where are we? Sudden death, Lee? Is this
sudden death? We're at sudden death with Stu. But the worrying thing is, I'm not sure whether either of them have. I mean, these are doable answers, but I'm not sure.
Of course they are, Lee, when you're sat there looking at the fucking things.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, of course.
Uganda.
Not what I was
Stu.
not, but
Stu goes Uganda.
It's a good shout.
Radon in
Scores.
Tebi.
Oh my lord!
Whoa!
He scored.
Oh,
Uganda.
no. Oh, pressure's on now.
Oh my lord, that is absolutely out of the bag. Like you countries, there's got to be a you.
There are only 2 answers remaining. You need one of them.
Immediately started doubting the answer I'd just come up with as well.
Oh, good.
No, I'm gonna. You know that thing where like full well you're gonna call, and then you use 2 time bank cards, and then you inevitably call because you knew you were always gonna. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna say Austria.
No, surely not.
Austria.
Surely not.
Not.
No, it's not. Stu takes the win.
Devastated.
Do you want to absolutely kick yourself, Paul? You ready for this?
It's fine.
Ireland.
Of the 2 remaining, one of them is Iran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one, are you ready for this? Ukraine.
I nearly said Ukraine as well, but I thought...
Well, there's not many left.
That was not what I was going to say. You are putting...
It wasn't easy. It was a tough one, guys. I thought you did incredibly well.
So, well done. Stu takes the win. Well done. And we've got a final table in the poker.
Awesome. Nice.
So
Very
good stuff.
nice.
So down to the 7 remaining players. $244 is the min cash for that. $1,300 up top for first and second. Obviously, it's a bounty comp, so there'll be about another same again, I think, for the winner. So I'm expecting about $2,500 for the winner. Although chip leader at the moment, Matthias Bayer from Austria has already picked up $545 worth of bounties in this, guys.
You're just trolling me with all this talk of Austria now.
compared to Paul Brown, who's the short stack on here from the UK, who's all in at the moment with not very much at all, has just picked up the one bounty so far, $12.50, and is now all in.
Let's go. Oh, no.
Oh, it's giving
Oh,
10's going to do it.
No. His 10 was exactly what he didn't want to hit. It's kept going.
so Paul goes again, and yeah, it's pretty much going to be all in again next hand.
He is now.
Good knowledge there, Stu. Considering you said geography was not your.
I
your
literally
thing.
was trying to think of African countries beginning with a U, and it was like Uganda.
Uganda.
Oh yes.
Oh, and Paul doubles up again.
The comeback continues. We've gone from less than one big to more than 8.
And obviously, we're starting to pick up some
I
nice
would
tidy
know
page
this
ups
if we
as well.
had the big blinds on the screen.
The big
Yeah,
blinds
it's,
are on
it's
the
handy,
screen.
isn't it? It is handy. Yeah. Very, very useful. So we might do some more of the penalty shootout quizzes at some point down the line.
Tomorrow with me and Jay.
I'll add some more subjects to the
Yes,
choice.
please.
I've got a few more already locked and loaded, ready to go. So
I was going to say tomorrow with JP, but I don't want to battle that man in a quiz because he spends his life doing poke quizzes. He's an obscure sod, basically.
yeah. So Ace King versus 8s versus 6s here, and it's the 6s and 8s that are at risk. But if they can avoid the Ace King, then the 8s are going to do okay out of it.
It's always good when you get that kind of hand as when you're doing like some kind of commentary. You're just like looking kind of going, what? Where's the chips gone?
Yeah, so ends up that nobody busts that one. Mid stack picks up side pot. Short stack picks up a triple up.
The 08 ones are more difficult, because it doesn't show the hands for long enough for you to figure out what's going on.
And
I saw a tweet from one of the pros. I think it might have been was it Galen Hall? Said 08 tournaments are fantastic because not only do you get the sweat while you're waiting for the board to run out, you also get 90 seconds of extra sweat while you're figuring out who's won.
Yeah. Very, very good indeed. And for those that might be tuning in a little bit late, and we did promise that we'd be on Shug Watch. Des, do you want to update
Yeah,
everybody on what happened?
unfortunately, a little bit of bad news for Shug at the start of the show. So about an hour before we went on air, Shug put it out there that he'd actually exited. So down to the final 100 players, I think he might have finished in the 90s.
Yeah.
A great cash, a tremendous run.
Awesome,
it was day 3. You know, I don't know whether he's walked out with just less than $5,000, but an incredible performance from Shug in a field that included many pro players, many established stars. Our Shug went, pretty damn deep in it.
He won more than $6,000, didn't he? But he's
did he win more than 6?
Yeah, but now he's getting himself wrapped up in all the ITIN.
I saw that, the ITIN.
20% of it and all of that. So it's about 6,700, was it?
Superb.
It's a great run.
Brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic run.
Because I guess how many runners does the seniors get? It's in the thousands.
7,000.
Yeah.
Stacks, just ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, top 100 out of that.
There's a lot of old people in Vegas. Just do the Super Series next year, Shug. You'll win that one.
Yeah, I think most of them were 20-somethings being rebellious.
You get in the top 30% just by making it to the end of the Super Series.
See, I wasn't going to say anything.
It's
fair
brilliant.
play.
Yeah, you ever been there at the time of the Super Senior, Stu? And in the, well, obviously it used to be at the Rio, and the corridors are just like wall to wall with mobility scooters all the way along. It's brilliant.
Like that Austin's there.
Yeah, or Stu.
Never forget APAT's first Vegas tournament when Dan Austin was running people over and knocking
Took
down.
out a scooter, he did.
Yeah.
A mobility scooter, yeah.
Yeah, mobility scooter. He was knocking down barriers and running people over and all sorts. It was glorious.
Stu Rutter was on a mobility scooter when you and me were first out there, Liam.
Yeah, he was.
His ankle or something, and then just then his ankle was fine, and he kept the scooter because why not?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you do. Yeah. So
to be fair, he put aircon on one. I bought one last week.
So there's a few of them shortish here. I'm expecting this to move quite quickly because we're on 6-minute levels. So
how many big blinds are they all on?
What bigs? What each
What
stack?
each player? Yeah, what each stack's on? That'll be.
I'll just work them out. Give me a minute. I'll just have to calculate. Oh no, it's on the screen. Oh, that's easy.
It's
quite
weird.
handy.
It's weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes life so much easier.
What was the guarantee in this event, Lee?
$20,000 was the guarantee, and we just only got I think we're 3 players over in the end. So yeah,
you misheard his question. Lee said, "What was the guarantee?"
Is there what was the guarantee meant to be in this? Event,
I am done joking about guarantees. I have I joked plenty about them.
Yeah. Actually, this one wasn't adjusted by much. Actually, so
I have a bit of hot football news for you if you want it. Did you hear that one Mr. Gareth Bale has picked his new team?
Oh yes,
yeah, he's
gone to America.
He's going for the money shot over in the States, isn't he?
LA. Good for him.
Okay.
That sounds like a really good finish to what has been an incredibly successful career, if not.
When does their season? When does the season run?
No, you're thinking about your World Cup now, Lee, aren't you? You're thinking, really?
Well, I'm just wondering how that fits in for him.
I presume it must work out.
They'll have 100% got it written into the contract, even if it does clash. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, no, it's got to be playing games, right? No, it was more just the case of what games is he going to play between now and the World Cup? When does the US season start? Or is it after that?
More than he would have if he'd stayed at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'd imagine he didn't fancy getting the living shite kicked out of himself in the championship.
I think that's fair enough too.
That's a tricky one, though, isn't it? Do I want to live in LA or Cardiff?
Actually, though, you say that, Stu, but I think he'd have done fine in the championship. He's a top class player.
He would have had some 6'6" tall shithouse booting the living daylights out of him.
Well, he wouldn't because he'd have ran around him. He's
he
a
wouldn't
top
have
player.
He'd have been lumped to bits.
Are any of these European countries in the Nations League or any of these top, centre backs able to kick the shit out of him? I don't think they are. So
because
I think that's a fallacy, assuming that the championship.
You put him against just any average championship. I think big golem who plays football, they're just going to hurt him. He's made of biscuits anyway.
I think
he's just going to get hurt.
I think your assumption there that there isn't some that Ukrainian centre back or whatever wasn't trying to lay him out or whatever. I mean, everybody's out to do him.
But I think the reality of it is LA seems anywhere stateside seems a sensible thing for him to go.
Tremendous golf courses out there.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It'll be great. And
Hollywood.
And he's focused on what he's
art.
Yeah, all he needs to make sure is that he doesn't get a connecting flight. That's the important thing. As long as he doesn't get a connecting flight, he'll be okay.
Because obviously we said Phil TC was flying back today.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Phil's flight in Vegas was also delayed, and Phil also missed his connecting flight back to Newcastle.
Oh, bloody nightmare.
Oh, wow.
But Phil did manage to get on the 9:00 flight back up, and he's landed about an hour ago. And he's not a happy TC, shall we say.
He didn't get a 6-hour train instead, like an absolute clown.
He had the option of getting on a frigging flight, Paul. Oh.
I mean,
and he could probably afford to buy his own private helicopter anyway, so it doesn't matter to him, does it?
Oh, I'd have stayed over, Stu. I'd have, got the old woolly dressing gown and just,
but you
relaxed.
like London. I don't like Southerners.
I wouldn't have been going to London, mate. I'd have been staying in a hotel room, bit of room service, nice meal.
And you're obviously, again, a lot more well off than I am. I just want you to get home.
No, I'm not well off at all, and I don't eat, so it's all weird. It's very weird.
I don't eat.
Basically, Des would have whinged his way to a complimentary room, is what Des would have done. It's a skill. We're at 5 to the hour, so we haven't lost a player yet. So the guys are going to be on a 5-minute break. So this actually, I said sort of 12:15. It might be a little bit later than that. Looking at the way this is going, although there are a few. There's apart from Matthias, the rest of them are less than 20 bigs now. So it's hanging. There feels like, I think as Adam Neal put it in the chat last night in the comp last night, he said ICM is just hurting a lot of people on this final table. And I think we're in exactly the same situation here with Matthias, big stack, everybody else not wanting to bust until a few others do.
So you got a guy 1.5 big blinds and 1 on 4.6. And it's just like, no one's going anywhere until they've got away either. I mean, it's like, the rest of them are all very similar. It's just, you wait till they bust and you start just jamming it in people's eyes.
Amen.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the way it's going to go, because it's massive. You go from $244 for finishing 7th, whereas your fourth place finish is $600.
Yeah.
So with these short stacks there, you don't want to be going away picking up one of these shorter prizes now, when you can allow the others to bust and guarantee nearly triple money.
Yeah. You can't allow the others to bust when you got 4.5 big blinds, or indeed 1.5. But yeah.
Yeah. That is the way to look at it. So what are your plans for both of you for tomorrow night? Are you playing the online main? Are you going to play the main event live day? The day one online, or
whatever question you ask, I think the answer is yes. So I think I'm going to do the day one of the live main, day one of the online main, and you've got another PLO going as well, haven't you? So
PLO knockout tomorrow night.
I'll probably have that one as my small table in the bottom right corner.
See, this has sorted out my plans for tomorrow night. I'm going to get a bottle of wine on the way home from cricket. I'm going to sit here and anti-rail Paul on the APAT show.
Yep. Stu and JP on tomorrow night from 10 o'clock.
After I let you in at those penalty shootouts as well.
Oh yeah. You need to learn your geography, mate. Yeah, just come back when you're ready.
Good for you. And I do mean the Norman Chad sense of good for you as well. If you heard that.
It's weird because one of us is a Norman Chad of this situation. The other one's not. It's quite the reverse.
Am I supposed to be along the Karen?
Yep.
Gentlemen, it's very easy to be misunderstood. Paul, I know Stu wasn't around, so I don't know if you heard the story I told a few nights back about my scariest experience. Did you hear that? Does that ring any bells?
Scariest experience?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Okay, let me play this and just understand a little about miscommunication here. So this was a couple of nights back. Let me run this.
One of the charities that I work with is they've got some guys doing wing walking next month.
Oh, nice! I'd like to do that.
Would you?
Flying though again.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm not really kind of a junkie for that kind of that adrenaline rush. But Des is shaking his head in a no. You wouldn't get me anywhere near anything like that. No.
Well, I've seen people do wing walking, and remarkably, they always look super calm. I mean, I'm assuming I'm watching pros and stuff doing it, but they always look super calm. It always looks super under control, and control is one of the most important things when it comes to doing adrenaline junkie type things. I think the scariest thing that I remember doing, because I'm not into scary things, it just seems so stupid to me, but the scariest thing that I remember doing was as a pretty young kid, I'm going to say 9 or 10, like coming out of school at lunchtime, right, for the 1 hour lunchtime break. And there was a crazy mechanic that used to work in town called Herity, right? Nobody knows if he had a first name. He was just Herity. And at that time, he had a 20-year-old Escort, which he'd sort of done up as a bit of a rally car. And in the sort of 60-minute break between the first half of school and the second half of school, 2 or 3 of us would jump into the back of this car, and he would take us for a drive about 6 miles out of town at insane speeds in a car that had no seatbelts, no safety whatsoever. It had a bit of sort of paint on the side that made it look like a rally car, and ferociously, all you could smell was the petrol coming from the back.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. And it was what you would term exhilarating. Of course, you were with a few of your mates, so you had to do it.
Yeah.
You were in on it, you know. That was probably about as close to the line as I think I've ever gone.
Why is it that you don't like? Is it just the self-preservation point? Like,
yeah, it was a little self-preservation. I genuinely felt that I am putting my life. And I wasn't thinking like this. It was more of a natural reaction. But I was sort of thinking, I am putting my life in the hands of the arsehole sat in front of me.
Please put up Tom Bacon's comment.
I have questions.
This could literally be anything. Oh my God! I'm so glad you said that, because that's what I thought he said. If you play back this video, you think he said that. My face goes.
You people, what? I was 7 or 8. I'm 9 at the most. What do you think I'm capable of?
I am on team.
I mean, now.
I thought that's what you meant.
Bloody hell!
Too good.
Did you miss the bit about coming out of school from a lunch break? What, you people?
No, but it was the guy who had the 20-year-old escort, so we were like, okay, where's this going?
Hold on. That's right. The guy, the crazy mechanic, and his 20-year-old escort, and the 4 kids that would travel 6 months. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I see where you're going. Do I look that damaged?
In my mind, I'm just thinking that wouldn't happen these days.
No, I'm with you 100%, Tom. That's exactly where my mind went.
Paul says that you 3 were the only ones not thinking that, to be honest.
It's true. Every single one of us, the rest of us were all
every time.
Yeah, where's this going? I was almost like, I'm not sure we should be broadcasting this.
Every time. Here we go. Miscommunication. That was quite funny, right?
I'm too innocent to understand that.
It's basically Des at the age of 9 with a bunch of his mates getting exhilarated by a 20-year-old escort. That's pretty much
it sounds reasonable when you put it like that.
At the age of 9, jumping into a strange man's car.
He wasn't a strange man. He was strange in that he was strange, but people knew who he was. It wasn't like he was just some sort of really crazy bloke.
Yeah, I thought about the escort thing as well, which made me giggle.
That was the thing, right? We just had a giggle.
Like, why are you jumping into a weird man's car and driving 6 miles out of town?
Oh, you went for the speed. It was all about the speed.
Are you on drugs as well while you were there with the escort?
You're not helping yourself here at all. The thing is, I do quite well with this kind of stuff because the amount of time Des says something and I just keep a straight face, and I'm normally okay until somebody posts something in the chat, which effectively is repeating what I'm thinking in my head, but I'm not saying. And at that point, that's it. I just go because it's just too.
I can assure you, I have never had a 20-year-old escort. I've had a 15-year-old Fiesta. That just
steady.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That could have gone one of 2 ways. I'm disappointed the way it went, Paul.
That's probably safest.
Absolutely. And somehow we've still not lost anybody here. And Paul Brown has got 0.3 of them and has folded because Georges has gone all in. And this could be a ladder.
He's never getting away with that, is he? Oh, my
He's
Lord.
got away with this. He's got himself a ladder. Paul Brown has picked up an extra nearly $85 from that decision.
He should only be given 30% of that ladder amount because he's a big blind.
And but he's Matthias made the move, and Georgios made the call with the short stack, and Paul decided, I will sit on my third of a big blind, and it paid off to the tune of nearly $85.
That's a very interesting call.
He's folded his 0.2 of a big blind here, really. That might be a record.
I think Paul's sat at home pissing his pants at what people are doing. It's like the guy's just called out of 4 million. His second chip leader just flatted. And then folded. So what?
I mean, this is the thing. If a few others get involved, he's going to have to go in. I mean, he's got one more ante behind. There goes the ante.
There we go. Come on,
Paul. There it is. He's in.
He's got a monster. He's run into aces. He's hit an 8 though. He's got out. He's definitely got out. Oh, rooting for you, Paul. Unfortunately,
Yeah, too many.
Rooting for you. So Paul Brown finishes in 6th place, picking up $330, and we ladder up again another $90.
Adds another at least like 25 pence to Matthias's bounty there.
Yeah. So Matthias is now on $690 worth of bounties already won. If he ends up going on to win this thing overall, he's going to have a monster payout from this tournament.
If he doesn't win from here, something's gone spectacularly wrong.
Stu,
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
let me. Well, everybody. So, what's the minimum number of times somebody else's stack that you would call with any two in a bounty tournament? So, if you have if your minimum is like 10 times, you got 10 times the effective stat. When someone jams in a bounty tournament, you just call with absolutely anything at all. There isn't now. So Matthias is there with like 70 bigs.
Oh God, yeah, he's there now.
So who's Pettersson? Jens has just jammed for 6 bigs.
Win. Oh my Lord, he's going to do it again.
He's hit 7.
What is this?
Hit 6, so it's done.
Can we stop this, please?
Yeah. So George McDonald busts in 5th place. Matthias adds again to his bounty.
But he's going to shove behind it as he should be, because why not?
Well, yeah, this is the point now. You just add. He's just added another $250 to his bounty prize from that one. Because George McDonald was the biggest bounty on the table.
Think.
I wish Matthias had deuce 3 off in that one just to see if he'd actually made the call.
I can guarantee that's a yes.
So well, he's doubled up. He's doubled up Jens.
But he's already folded in that spot once.
No, see, now Jens just folds everything.
I think Matei's going to be all in.
But the likes of Kishikuma here, who's on 5 bigs, has pretty much watched his min cash go from $245 up to $600 without really doing anything. It's just been folding.
Mateus has had enough here now.
Yeah, I think he's just seeing this as I'll just get it. I'm just going to raise this up every hand. Who wants to go against me?
So.
Well, the guy with 5 million can't call him.
Here we go.
10 jack ends, 8.
He's got 2 overs.
And 3 possibles and spades now as well.
And
gets there. Gets there.
Wow.
And another one bites the dust. This is going to be a monster payout for Matthias in this comp. Really is. I said my guess was that the winner, so the top 2 prizes are $1,300, and I said I thought that probably the winner will pick up about another 1,200
Oh, look
in
at
bounties.
this.
King Jack versus King 6. These are points
Great.
spades at 6. Okay. Yuri hits. I thought about $1,200 would be the winner's bounty, roughly. He is going to smash that, I think, if he wins this.
Call.
Absolutely smash it. He doesn't need to call there now, does he? If he's not got anything decent, you just let that go.
But he can.
It's happier pushing.
Yeah. The thing is, he does actually now have a huge bounty. If one of these other two can bust the other one, and they've then got about 25 bigs, they're only 1 double up from being level stacks. So we're going to get it because it's 10s versus ace 4. It's the 10s that are just slightly at risk, but they're going to hold, and it's going to be a double up for Yuri.
How much is the final ladder from 3rd to 2nd? I know the top 2 will be the same payout.
$400.
Yeah, okay. So that is probably worth folding to 12 bigs effective, because it makes a bit more of a dent now, doesn't it?
Yeah. And they're all in on here, looking to pick up the bounty of Yuri.
Mateus trying to buy it there.
Yeah. Jens has got to be careful here because he doesn't want to lose this hand and leave himself in a really awkward position for the heads up. If it is that but no, he had an ace 10 anyway, so it was already in a good spot. So here we go then. Heads up, we are. Yuri from Germany finishes in 3rd, picking up the bronze medal and $900 plus $81.
I'm glad Jens picked up that last one because we've got a bit more play heads up now. Otherwise, it would have been like a 10x chip lead.
But they're playing for $1,200 worth of bounties here, and Matthias has already won $1,050 worth of bounties. This is going to be a ridiculous payout for, well, I mean, if Jens gets it, I mean, it's going to put Jens up to about $1,400 worth of bounties. So, which is where I thought the winner, would roughly be. But if Matthias does it, that's just an insane cash from this. Absolutely played it superbly if it ends up that way.
I'll tell you, I mean, the pace of it over the last 10 minutes has been insane.
But it had got so many of the stacks had got so low, Des. It
yes,
was
it's
just inevitable. Yeah, it had to happen. Simon Lawler's in the chat saying, yeah, jam every hand, call every hand for Matthias at that point.
Certainly when everyone was on less than 10 days.
But Jens is not, I say this isn't over by any stretch now because Jens is on 30, what's he got, 34 bigs. Matthias has got 45. This is this is very much up for grabs. And obviously for Jens, it's roughly say $1,200. They're a bit more than that, actually. $1,250 they're playing for. He's pretty much playing to nearly double his payout. So for what he's guaranteed with now. Obviously, it's these cumulative, the progressive knockouts that work. We've obviously at Dust Till Dawn next week got a bounty comp, but it's just a straight half of your,
straight scalp.
Scalp is paid, so it's not you don't quite get the compounded benefit of winning bounties on your head.
Yeah. Were any of the other APAT show crowd on before I joined? No,
just Stu managed to get in, and then you've joined. Others are busy. I saw Tom Bacon was in the chat, and I think others are, obviously Natalie is should be not getting too far off hitting Vegas now, probably a couple of hours away.
Yeah,
and she'll be over there. Hopefully we'll get her dialing in, and obviously we're seeing you on Monday night, Paul. Well, or maybe not, depending on whether we've got yourself, Dan Austin, and Adam Neal booked for Monday night.
Oh, so no, if you got Dan and Adam, you don't need me. That's
no, but between the three of you, I think we'll be able to cover off the comms of the main event day 2.
Yeah, the flip side to that is that both Dan and Adam are much more likely to be in day 2 of the main than me. So probably put your money on me to be on the show.
But so we're well lined up, and to be honest, actually, any one of the guys that have been on the show this week could quite easily step in on Monday and do the biz for us. Not a problem at all. It's been really good. All the shows this week, thoroughly enjoyed them.
Fantastic.
2 more to go. Yeah, 2 more to go before we say we have a day off, and then we all make our way to Nottingham. Certainly those that are there for the Wednesday for the start of the team event. Starting to get nervous, Paul, or just excited for getting it started and getting on with it?
You know me well enough to know what I've been doing for most of the day today.
Yeah, okay.
There's a spreadsheet.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
excellent stuff.
I've been forecasting the winning points total for the winning team, that kind of thing, calculating average points per team, points per player, all that kind of.
Because we've confirmed all the.
In fact, in general, I've just geeked out today because I've also taken my eldest to the National Museum of Computing at Bletchley Park today, which was great. It was really good.
Nice.
Wow.
So it's in the same site as all the Enigma stuff and all the sheds that they used to work there. We've been there before, but there's another unit in there, which is the Computing Museum, which is more interesting than it sounds, especially if you grew up playing on computer games like I did.
Absolutely fantastic.
I still am.
Looking at the Spectrum. Me too. But because I used to have a Spectrum and an Amiga and all that kind of stuff. So we were looking at all of them.
Yeah, I used to have Amiga. Yeah, Commodore 64 was the.
You went. Yeah, there was kind of two schools. One there was Spectrum and Commodore really. So yeah, I had a Specky, but then I novated across to Commodore for the Amiga, and then onto consoles after that and PCs. Yeah. It's good. It's the other end of the world from where you are, Stuart, because it's down in Bletchley. But
I'd love to go. I'd love to go.
It's worthwhile. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so obviously we confirmed all of the points scoring and everything for the team event now as well. So it means the captains can start focusing in on what's going on.
Tom sent them through earlier today.
Yeah, so that's all being confirmed. We're going to give points to everybody in the MTT on the day 2.
Even Gaz Howard.
Yeah, and I've got it set that nobody gets 0 ever.
Even Gaz Howard.
No, nobody can score 0 in anything. So everybody will always win. Everybody will always win at least a point when they sit down to play, which I think is a feel good. Nice
even if you lose a heads up. Yeah, it's
You get a Even if you lose a heads up, I give you a
win.
point.
You can get through the entire weekend without beating any player in anything, and still end up with.
And you'll still end up with some points. You kind of feel like you've done your bit. Yeah.
You haven't done your bit. 4 points.
Yeah, it's perspective of it all.
The amount of shit I got for my points total in Prague, I've got absolutely no sympathy for anybody.
Have you done
so
anything?
Matthias has really hammered away here, and this could be ace 3 versus ace 8. So he's up against it here, but he's gone for it with an ace.
Very good, lad.
He gets there.
Straight wins.
And Jens is going to get through. So doubles back up again, but still Matthias is now over 3-1 chip lead here. So he's going to carry on applying the pressure to get this done, I think.
Have you done anything at all with your shirts, Paul, for the England team?
We've ordered them.
Okay. So no special touches or anything like that.
We don't need gimmicks, Des. We
Absolutely.
we let our poker do the talking.
They're not
We're
going to
England.
come. They're not going to come pre-framed or anything. No.
And that's that.
There you go.
There we go.
That is that. King 7 versus Queen 3, and it looked good for Jens because he thought I've hit middle pair. That's looking a good spot, but actually he was up against top pair, unfortunately, and that is going to be that. So it ends up that Jens picks up the silver medal and roughly about $1,500. So very well done to him. Matthias Bayer from Austria walks away with $3,650 from that comp. $55 buy-in comp. $3,650. That's incredible.
Yeah.
From sparsely populated Austria.
Nice.
Yeah. Tom Bacon in the chat said, Tom Bacon in the chat says Matthias was on his table earlier. He was down to 6 big blinds after about 40 minutes, which is an incredible spin up to get back in and eventually win that. So that's it. So that's event number 10, done and dusted in one night. Medals going to Austria, to Denmark, and to Germany. Nice and close. We can get those sorted without too much of a bother. So tomorrow it is event number 11, event number 12. 11 is effectively the online main event, online championship. That's $109 buy-in. You can get one re-entry on that only during obviously the late registration period if you need to. It's a 2-day event, so we'll see the conclusion of that on Monday. And it's also the PLO knockout, which is event number 12. That's a $55 buy-in. That's a 2-day event as well. So again, we'll watch the conclusion of that on Monday. But Stu and JP are going to be back tomorrow night with Des and myself. Late, I think we'll be about 10 o'clock start is what we'll do tomorrow night. And we'll watch those day ones play through. We'll also focus in on the online day one for Dusk Till Dawn for next week. So for those that are playing that and see who's going to try and build a stack, that'll play down to 15% of the field tomorrow night as well. And then we'll be back for the big conclusion of the online series, which will be day number 9 for us on Monday, Des. So 2 more to go, my friend. We're nearly there.
Fantastic. Loving it all, Lee. So thank you, Paul. Thank you, Stu. We will see you guys through the next couple of days. Of course, that aside, we'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow night. Have a good evening. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, everyone.